Hey guys, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream VOD. Doing a little post stress test stream. Gonna be talking. Just want to hear your stories about the stress test. Kind of get a general vibe check on how things are feeling, and yeah, just see kind of what's up. And I kind of also talk about my stress test weekend as well. So. Yeah, should be a fun one. See how long I go tonight, I'm not sure, but let's get the game up. Monopoly game? Yeah, that's right. Gotta rock the McDonald's Monopoly game. It's back. What's up, Derp Alert 5040? Thanks for being the first one into the chat. Appreciate that. Hey, what's up, Rip Von Skeletal? Happy day after testing. Hey, thanks, Crixon. What's up, Evo Supreme? Not a stressful test after all? Yeah, you know, after the start it was pretty good. Where's my Kirkland cold brew? You gotta check the stream title, that we discussed. But, yeah. This is the Kirkland sobriety stream, so, no Kirklands. I haven't drank a Kirkland for 2 days. I had an awful experience last night. If you were watching Quado's stream last night, you'll kind of get the gist of it, but yeah, it wasn't good. What's up, Classic EverQuest? How's it going, bud? Gula Gula, what's up, man? Craggy Ham, Swindle 1964, Whisk 85. Thank you. You're welcome, but thank you for playing. Made a suggestion about giveaways in the Discord. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing. I got some suggestions from some other people too, and we're also gonna be doing a official opt-in for alpha and beta access. Swanee's putting that together. He was just messaging me about it, so I don't fully grasp the full details on it yet, but it'll be somewhere on our website, so make sure you sign up. Get an M&M account. What's up for DMK? MMO Pug, the Dev Trav, Gunner Wolf, Aggro Grind, Red 666. Hey, thanks. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Trebori, what's up? Sneers, how's it going, man? Poor Night Harbor during the 700 plus stress. Yeah, well, it held up, but it was very laggy. So I think something broke after about like 450 users in a zone. But outside of that, like, new bottleneck that we discovered, things were smoother than ever. There were no server crashes for the entire stress test. Hugely good sign. There were the zone load times were like, yeah, you guys saw it. It was insane. So definitely some good takeaways, and then also needing to stress test again is also fun, right? Because then we get to get you guys in again and get to test things out, see if we can fix that bottleneck, see if we can actually get a 700 stable in the zone or something crazy, right? Hey, thanks, Murpus. Glad you enjoyed it. Thanks, Chalk and Poker Gaming. Let me know if I'm... can you phonetically sound that out for me? I'm so sorry if I'm messing your name up. But yeah, glad to do it. It's fun. What's up, Derelict? Aaron Gunn. Crixon. Yeah, low times were super nice. Spent 6 hours killing druids last night, and my withdrawal's killing me. Dude, my Kirkland withdrawal almost killed me last night. Holy. I was on the struggle bus last night. Like, I was trying to talk to Quados and Dirty Old Socks and Ultra Piss and all those guys on the Quados stream, and well, it was Quados Ultra Piss doing a duo stream. But dude, I felt bad. I felt very, very bad. Like, it was awful. It was like one of the worst feelings I felt recently. Because basically what happened was, I just been drinking so many of those Kirklands, and then I just quit, like, didn't drink one on Sunday. And then I was out in like 85-degree heat. Took my family to this like kind of pumpkin farm thing, and and then and then I didn't even eat well, so I was like starving, suffering from this like crazy migraine headache, and then just dehydrated as all hell probably. And oh my god, yeah. So then I was like starving, and I'm just like withering away at my computer like on this stream, and I'm like, gotta order some like food. It's like 1 in the morning already. Trying to order some like food, like, so I ordered Taco Bell. Not the greatest. I'm actually glad. So the Taco Bell didn't ever make it. Just long story short, but I'm kind of glad it didn't make it, because I think if I had eaten the Taco Bell, I don't think I would have kept it down. Like, I'm not even kidding you. This was so bad. And then so yeah, eventually I just got like an apple and peanut butter. I was like, I need something that's just pretty benign so I can just get through this. And then I kind of ate that and hydrated, and I started feeling good, and I was chatting with Quados and stuff on his stream, so that was fun. But the part before that was awful. So apologies if you saw me at my worst on the stream last night. Pumpkin farm was fun. Got, you know, took my daughter got to get on a horse for the first time. So she's almost 3 years old, and she really enjoyed that. And yeah, it's just good spending time with the family. So all right. So now that I'm done with my spiel, I get back on the chat here. Yeah, woo, another stress test. Yeah, that will be cool. We'll have to figure out the timing for that and how we want to handle that. First time playing this weekend. Game felt great. Had a blast playing Saturday and Sunday. Me and a buddy duoed Elementalist in Necro. Ended up in Wormsbane at level 4, and we duoed there for a few hours before its server shut down. Great times. Hey, that sounds awesome, 4DMK. Glad you enjoyed it. Welcome, and yeah, I'm glad to have you part of the community. What's up, Riviere? There's a new pronounced bug, lots of mobs bouncing. Already fixed! We're quick, huh? I was like, we need to fix this ASAP. Can anyone... And then it would just turned out to be something that was very minor. Like, extremely, extremely minor. Like, we did some fix before the test, and then that fix was the cause of that. So, John G was just like, oh yeah, let me just... Done. So, yeah. Load times almost got you killed in PvP. Yeah. No more plugging. You can't even plug fast enough. The load times are too fast. You know. It's hilarious. Load times were great. There's still memory leaks for the extended period. Yeah. So for the next test, hopefully we'll get on the client optimizations more. And then also figure out the server bottleneck. Why are you mad, White Bandit? You liked Ollie's Bard starter quest in Fallen Drill? Nice done. Did he make it? No, there's no way. Was it dedicated to him or something? I didn't see the... I haven't checked that quest out yet. Shrewdly happy you all are doing this on the path to EA. Yeah. Fun. Tips Sans Rum. Thank you for the prime. Welcome to the stream. Hope you are enjoying. Chicken Plucker. Okay, that's it. Okay, I got you. Someone stole my name, so I had to add something to it. Gotcha. What's up, sup, baby? Was a great time. Met a few of the guild. Great times. I got them up to, think we hit 8 from the start. Nice. 8 solid. Getting to that tier 3 of abilities for certain people. Played for a good 14 hours or so over the weekend and only noticed like 2 or 3 lag spikes the whole time. Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. So when can we start harassing Swanee? Give it like a few days to week if no update the website. Don't harass Swanee. Just harass our website, basically. Look for some like sign up shenanigans on there. Of course, we'll probably still do giveaways. I'm gonna probably pause on the giveaways just a little bit. Like, let's see. How many people are on Alpha? What's the thing? Grafana. How many people are on Alpha? Yeah, there's 103 characters on Alpha currently. So, I mean, that's kind of where we want to be. You know, beta is coming soon. Beta is where we want to ramp it up. So I think I'll probably still do... Well, going to see how it stabilizes over the next few days. Because I think a lot of people are recovering from the test. And then they're going to be like, oh, you know, I want an alpha key. Maybe I should check that out. So, just gotta, you know, try to relax on it a little bit. But you never know. You never know. Maybe I pop one off. You know, like, I'm a spur of the moment kind of guy, so like if you're not around checking things out, like you could miss something, you know. Didn't get to play much during the stress test, but did notice some crashing of the game when going between zones. Not sure if that's just my own. So was that a client crash, or was that like some kind of disconnect or situation where you like stuck loading? Give me some more info on that, Dragon Blazonry. Is Archer trap cost planned to be lower than 8 wood? Does it have a cost? Let me see. Doesn't have a cost, right? Oh, it does have a cost. Well, that wasn't intended. Like maybe there's a reagent, right? Like maybe you buy some stuff from the store for it. But yeah, that was total oversight on my part. Yeah, let's just get rid of that right quick. Fixed. Done and done. Let's see. Had a blast and it was nice. It was nice to stream it. Yeah, Inner World, I did see you in the category, man. I'll have to pop in next time. I think I did click on your stream a couple times. I just was kind of clicking through everybody and seeing what people were up to. But yeah. Played Ranger in this test in the Wood Elf Zone. Was super sick to see it more fleshed out. Nice, Rip Von Skeltel. Let's see. And oh, I kind of messed up. I lost my place in chat. Caterino. I think this is a user error situation. Learned this weekend I kind of want to main a Necromancer until Deep Nodes come out and I can make my Shaman. Fair, fair. When it starts to rain in M&M, does it give a text line? It begins to rain? That popped in my head every time it rains IRL since first playing EQ. Yeah, it should, Mir. Was unable to play during the test? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Raddock. Mary Bathtub says, Nick, where are the DLCs? We're not going to have any DLCs. We don't have any planned DLC. We're going to release modules for free. There isn't going to be a box cost for the game. It's just a subscription fee, just a little $14.99 per month. Yeah, no plan for paid DLCs, I should say. There will be obviously free expansions in the form of modules. 20 was hanging out in my stream, also sitting at the campfire. He's really cool. Yeah, Swanee's a great guy. Playing the stress test weekend was helpful and taking a second look at M&M. Nice. Any thoughts on overwhelming feedback of making armor not drop on death? I wouldn't say it's very overwhelming, but there is definitely a vocal minority of people that don't like corpse runs, but they aren't going away. put it lightly. Like, maybe there's a world down the line where we're successful and we have the opportunity to do like versions of the game and weird rule sets. Oh, for PvP. For PvP. Sorry, I missed. That was the second part of it. So you're saying like no item loot on PvP, or just no corpse runs on PvP server? Well, there's gonna be corpse runs on PvP server. In terms of item loot, there is eventually gonna be a PvP server that doesn't have item loot. The first one will likely have item loot. And I'm also thinking it's probably going to be a no-box server, because that seems to be the overwhelming demand in the community, so... I'm not going to officially call it, but I'm pretty sure that's... we're kind of aligned on that. I remember Sean mentioning that one, so I think we're pretty aligned on no-box PvP server for that. My only concern with that is, like, what if the population gets so low that, like, it's needed? So, then maybe we just change the rules at that point, or I don't know. Alright, yeah, I'm going, like, back and forth, up and down in the chat. This is definitely some user error on my part. Ended up slowing to 8.5, kind of just vibed out in the desert killing stuff. Nice. Client crash, okay. Interesting. I haven't seen that. Client takes forever to close after you try quitting the game. Usually have to kill the program in order to get back to your desktop. Yeah, known issue. The client appears busy and then crashes. Let me mention that. Where's the channel? There's so many channels in our Slack. I seriously have to like type it in sometimes. Thanks, Nick. Archer everywhere rejoice. Yeah, there's more coming too. So, I'm almost fully recovered. I think tomorrow Sean will probably stream if I had to get. Oh, I don't know. Does Sean stream tomorrow? Because we're probably gonna have our Sean, Ollie, and I have like a call every week. We usually do it on Mondays, but Ollie and I were kind of tapped out, and I think Sean was too, because he's been in fighting a good fight. The airsoft battlefields of Germany. So I think we were all kind of just tapped out today. So I think by tomorrow I'll be fully recovered and then just going ham on classes. So that means more Archer stuff, Beastmaster for sure. Just there's a lot of stuff on my list. And I want to get just what I've been working on to Chit. It's still a work in progress, but at least he can kind of get an idea of some of the things that I'm asking. So then we can start getting those in. Will there be guild halls or just the houses that are currently are in? Yeah, that's a good question, Whisk. Let me make a note on that one because guild halls are awesome. I want guild halls. I think you can maybe do some kind of permissions with guilds, but for like the regular housing. But yeah, we're gonna definitely need more of bigger locations for guild housing and stuff. What's up, Black Rose Scythe? Yeah, so yeah, Whisk, that's a good question. I kind of want to clarify that too. If you guys come to any potential ideas for archers and the sheer amount of arrows they burn through? Yeah. So one of the things that I have marked down is some ability to recover a certain percentage of your arrows or materials. And then also being able to craft large amounts of arrows. When closed beta happens, are the alpha server players included? Yes. You would load a few seconds between a zone, then completely crash the desktop. Launcher would close too. Interesting. Oh man, I wish we could get your player.log file or like a crash dump. Dragon, you're in our Discord, right? You should message me and I can send you some instructions on how to maybe get the crash dump for that. So that'd be cool, man. If you can grab that for us, I can explain how. But just send me a DM on Discord if you don't mind. What's up, Sna? Evening. Hope the stress test went well. Haven't had time to play in the last while. Yeah, it went pretty good. Really optimistic about where we're at with things, but also, you know, we did discover a little bit of a bottleneck that we got to patch up and see, and then retest. What's up, Quados? Dude, I'm back, man. I'm recovered after that episode last night, dude. That was insane. Like, I was feeling so terrible, and then towards the end, I was feeling better, right? Like I was talking and stuff, like a normal person. But yeah, dude, that was rough, man. I was on the struggle bus like hardcore. Hey, what's up, Pizzles? Jabori says, I was on my Bard and would charm an Orc Shaman to get the buffs and kill it off with an Orc Warrior. Free buffs. Yeah, perks of charm. What if we want to give money to the project beyond a subscription fee? So there will probably be in terms of giving the company and game money directly, there'll probably be a tip jar kind of situation. There will also be the ability to gift subscriptions to your friends. So you could pay your subscription. You know, you could get as many accounts as you want, but then you can also gift subscriptions to your friends. And we're also considering doing the kind of like Twitch gift kind of system where you can actually gift subscriptions to the game, not to a person directly, but kind of like a pool. And then you can actually, by doing this, kind of activate other people that their subscriptions may have lapsed, or maybe they have an account but not a subscription. So we're still figuring out the exact details of that, because we would hate for this to be some kind of abusable thing. But I mean, obviously the benefits are obvious, right? For not only for us, but potential benefits for the community, right? Like, not only do you get to peer pressure your friends or peer pressure other strangers into playing, but yeah, you know, you're supporting the game at the same time. So stress test was awesome. I'm hungover and want more. Nice, Silas. Dude, I'm actually behind on chat like already. I hate, man. This is what happens when I don't drink the Kirklands. Like, I can't even keep up. Yeah, no, I never got my Taco Bell. Like, I was explaining that earlier. I'm glad that I didn't get the Taco Bell because I think if I got the Taco Bell, I would have been completely hosed. Like, that was not going to be staying in my stomach. Let's be honest, Nick loves Chick-fil-A. That's the old Nick angle. I used to be a huge Chick-fil-A stan, but I don't know, I'm just not as much into it these days. My new thing is Panda Express. But I'll get sick of that pretty soon. Prison colony is needed for boxers. What psycho is boxing in PvP? Yeah. Well, the people that want to box in PvP are probably the people that want to do the keystroke input like cloning, where you like play like 6 wizards at once and then press a button. Yeah. Not a fan. Feel like they've talked about doing some kind of collector box at some point, like cloth maps from back in the day. Yeah, we'll probably have like certain items that are just like independent of anything like that. Like maybe you could just buy a cloth map, but what's it called? I don't know, like a 1.0 release box or like a collector's like box for that. That might be cool. We don't have any concrete plans for it. What was the Taco Bell order though? I got 2 of those Cantina. Oh, so I didn't even explain. Like the Taco Bell got to my door. So it got to my door. And then the dude, like, called me 3 times when I was on the stream with Quados and those guys. And I just completely... I had my phone on silent. I was, like, struggle busing here, like, And, like, so I missed it completely. But my orders... My default order on my Uber Eats is always leave it at the door. Don't ring the doorbell. Simple, right? So dude calls, like, 3 or 4 times... question marks me. He did a question mark on me, dude. And then he just pieced out with my Taco Bell. It was messed up, dude. And I was like, I was done, dude. I was just like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do, man. Like, it was wild. Like, I was like, yeah. So I just grabbed an apple and peanut butter and got me through it. Hydrated and yeah. But I feel bad because I was playing at the end of the stress test with like Quados and that group, and then like after that I started just like declining fast, and like they're just like trying to talk and ask like really good questions, and I'm trying to have like thought provoking like answers, but I'm just like, oh my god, dying. So we're gonna chill out on the Kirklands a little bit, you know. Like Kirkland, I still love you. You know, you can still hit me up if you have any kind of deals you want to make. But we're gonna take a break. I don't know if I'm really a good caffeine person. Like I think I like love caffeine, but might have to be on the caffeine sobriety train for a little bit. Yeah, so other than supporting the game in other ways, the only way you can really support us monetarily is like being here on the stream, you know, subbing, donating, stuff like that. Like, so you know, there's a number of us that stream, and then yeah, that's pretty much the only way you can support us monetarily. But that's on the individual level, not on the game or company level. You can't support the game or company yet, other than just spreading the word and doing all the good stuff like that. Oh my gosh, Quados! Thank you for the 5 gifties. I say that not to like I appreciate the support, but I don't want to guilt trip anybody into, you know, But thank you so much, man, and thank you for having me on your stream and having me in your group. It was a lot of fun last night, even though it seemed like I didn't want to be there. I really want. There was nothing more that I wanted to do than be there and like chatting with you guys. But I legit like, dude, it was awful. It was extremely awful. So yeah, we're gonna take better care of ourselves. We're gonna make sure we eat, and we're gonna make sure we're not overdosing on any Kirklands. Sean just got home from war. Let him relax. Yeah. Had to check to see if I was dreaming when I saw this channel go live. 998 Godwin, you must be a follower from way back in the day. If so, welcome. The Heroes of the Storm angle kind of ended 10 years ago, but now we are on the game development angle. And yeah, we're really close to releasing this game, Monsters and Memories. It's a indie MMORPG. Let me hop in. So, but yeah, it's cool to see you here, Godwin. I already forgot. Chicken Plucker. That's it. Chicken Plucker. Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate it. So nice of you. Glad you guys are enjoying the stream. All right, so I'm behind in chat for sure. It's a certainty. Archer and Ranger should both get percent of their arrows back. Yeah, maybe. So I would say the only thing, like if you shoot a fire arrow, like I don't think you should get that back on Ranger. You know what I mean? But maybe it's only an Archer perk. Maybe it's a Ranger perk if you're not using like, you know, like elemental arrows or whatever we're gonna call that. Class question: is fighter supposed to feel quite selfish in its kit? Also, are we gonna expect gear that gives plus to defense? Or is defensive stance the outlier for premier tank? We're not. No. So there may be gear that gives plus to skills, but it'll be few and far between. The closest comp I could give is like EverQuest or of battle items or World of Warcraft Classic weapon skill items. So if you get a ability that is plus to a skill, that's meant to be quite special for a reason. Yeah, still I have questions on it because I like it's meant to be strong, but I wonder, is it too strong? Does it stack too high? Inner World, thank you for the resub on that tier 1, man. Appreciate it. And thank you for streaming the game and enjoying the game this weekend. Appreciate that a lot. And Todd, thank you for the Prime resub. Appreciate that, man. Glad you guys are enjoying. So to answer that question about fighter, yeah, it's definitely meant to make the fighter like that, you know, a little bit better, right? Because the fighter lacks utility, and he's kind of one of those mainstay like pure classes. So like, it's not going to be as crazy as EverQuest, like kind of classic style, where you have Amnesiac. Thank you for the Prime. So it's not going to be as crazy where like you just have defensive and like, you know, so what's the damage reduction on defensive again? It was like yeah, 40% damage reduction, right? Oh wait, 50%? What results in 40%? Okay. Well, anyways, the point is, you're not going to just have a massive damage reduction on fighter, right? Like, you're going to have, like, the perk of, oh, I've got more defense, or, you know, I've got, you know, the debuff shout and stuff like that, right? You've got more, you know, more damage in general, stuff like that. So, more damage and a little bit more defensive capabilities, but not anything that's, like, completely broken to the point where, like, playing a Paladin, Inquisitor, Shadow Knight is going to feel like deeply, deeply overshadowed. Maybe that's the case right now, where like some of these things do feel stronger than they should be, but I don't think so. Like the difference between that and like a 50% damage reduction is, I think, a vast ocean of difference. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see how it goes, and I'll definitely be talking with our balance designer on that. Will alpha characters carry to beta? Yes. What is this game? Oh, okay, so yeah, Monsters and Memories. Sorry, you may have asked this like minutes ago, and you may have already left the channel, but if you haven't, this is indie MMO inspired by classic MMOs like EverQuest and so on. And yeah, it's a new MMO coming in 2026 to early access. Not on Steam, just our early access. And yeah, it's a social driven immersion based MMO. It's not like a quest driven game. It's more of a sand park, as they call it, with definitely more of a sandbox influence than even like EQ had. So yeah, if you're interested in it, come check out monstersandmemories.com. You can try our playtest for free. Zbaz Elif, thank you for the prime. Appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying stuff. So many streams. Yep. What's up, Viro? All right. I noticed a substantial improvement in the stability and performance of the client from the September test. Improvement in zoning times were greatly appreciated. Yeah, man, they're greatly appreciated for me too, because like even just reloading the zone, like check this out, like this used to be a process that took, I want to say 30 to 40 seconds, and that just repops the whole zone, reloads all the data from the database, well, most of it, and yeah, like it's pretty nutty. Night Harbor has a lot of stuff in it, so. Did you get my idea? I mentioned to Swanee about putting search bars at the top of all vendors like you could do in trade skill windows. No, I don't. Maybe he did deliver that to me and I missed it, but search bars for merchants? That's an interesting one. Let me make I just made a note, so we'll see if that's something we want to do, but seems reasonable. Nick said we should peer pressure strangers into playing an M&M. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice. Thanks, guys. Thank you for the subs. I really appreciate that. So slash taco command like pizza confirmed? You never know, man. No wonder he got sick. Yeah. Can we get nice gaming mouse pads or posters of the loading art? That's a good idea. Gaming mouse pads with art. Good merch. Good merch ideas. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We gotta have an homage to Slash Pizza, right? If we can work out a deal, maybe a Slash Kirkland. You never know. Can we disable Bloom in M&M? I mean, if it's not in the graphic settings, then no. But, you know, I'm sure the graphics stuff will expand in the future. Oh, man. I'm glad to see that you guys are seeing the improvements with the client and the server and stuff. River of Beer. Yes. We gotta get the River of Beer in. River of Beer and gambling and all that good stuff. Where's your Nick.live? Whoa, what's that? I gotta check that out. Is that like my... Is that supposed to be like a URL that directs to my stream or something? Alright. We gotta scroll down a bit. What's up, Vante Leon? What's up, Howdy Howdy? Thoughts on haste having an effect on abilities? As of now, much of your TPS comes from abilities. Then the more haste people get, the less powerful they will be relative to others that don't have as much of a focus on abilities. My concern with so haste is meant to have an impact on your cooldown on probably like melee abilities. My only concern is what is the cap of that, right? You wouldn't want it to be like rapid fire abilities just because of the pacing of the game. But yeah, like let me make that's actually important to note. Melee abilities being reduced by melee haste with a cap. And then I guess potentially, you know, spell abilities being reduced by spell haste. But I mean, obviously the cast time is reduced, but what about the cooldown on that? So I don't know. But I'll put that on my class finalization needs list and see if we can address that one. Here's a suggestion, a way to save profiles to share for alts or to other people. Yeah, I got that a lot during the test. So UI saving and sharing. I think I have this on the UI tasks list. Let me see. Yeah, it's already on there. So. My friends were asking if you guys plan to keep improving tab targeting. They find it a bit clunky at times when pulling, and the option to remove sticky targeting. Let me take some notes. Remove sticky targeting, and then yeah, like I was noticing some issues with selecting. See, like a lot. I'm missing like some clicks are getting flubbed here. Like, so that worked. That worked. If I do like. Yeah, that's working right now. I wonder if it's like a zone thing, because when I was playing in Fallen Pass last night, I was having some issues targeting. Obviously this isn't tag targeting, this is click targeting, but that was the issue I was having. This name tag should always... See, right there, I clicked a bunch of times and it didn't select. It has to do with the pet, maybe? Right? Like, I'm sure it... Then also I was doing like a top-down kind of view last night a little bit. And yeah, I think maybe when it's top-down... See how many clicks are getting missed there on the target? That's annoying me a lot. This should just be flawless, you know? So let's look at tab targeting. Like... It's based off the camera, right? If that's maybe the concern is because we sat down one day and just looked at how WoW did it and then pretty much copied it. But there may be still some issues with it for sure. So I'd be curious, like, what specifically feels clunky about the tab target. Is there any discussion on maybe lengthening the day-night cycle? There There hasn't been any discussion on it recently. Do you feel like you want to extend the day, have less nighttime? I think that's been a kind of popular request. Slash Jersey Mike's would be fantastic, yeah. Slash Sandwich for the sandwichy combat. I think that'd be perfect. You guys already makes save spell sets to save more than one spell set like an EQ. No, we haven't done that yet, but it's something that's been suggested a lot. It just depends how we align on that. Like if we align on doing that or not. Like I think some people are, you know, and even myself included sometimes, right? I think that sometimes doing the classic way of things is kind of fun. Just, you know, feels more like you're playing the game and less like you're playing the UI. But I guess playing the UI is kind of, you know, you could view that argument both ways, right? So there's no concrete answer on it because there's a lot of UI stuff to do, but that has definitely been suggested a lot. We like you using your spellbook, looking at your spellbook, stuff like that. We would hate for it to just be an unnecessary part of the UI, I guess. So that's the kind of hesitation there. But that's not to say we won't do it. +1 to extended buff timer. 1 hour feels great. Yeah, I hope so. Like, I think most people are pretty happy with that. I know I did see some feedback that people would rather see a progression to it or something like that. Where can people tip to get their beta keys? They can't tip to get your beta keys, you know? We're not like that. What was the reason or incentive behind extending buff timers to 1 hour? Just it was a highly requested thing, and also I just felt that it. So I was for keeping it 30 minutes, and then I started playing a lot, and like the world is just big. So by the time you get to what you want to do, like your buffs would almost be gone. And from a buff economy kind of type perspective in game, then that kind of felt a little bit bad. So, yeah, that's kind of my reasoning. Family dinner, happy stream. Thanks, Quados. Moose with big rack. Thank you for the tier 1 gifty. Appreciate that. I tried a few tests, but the high ping / overbanding ruins it. There hasn't been much of that lately, Time Riot. You should definitely give it another try. Clear! Thank you for the prime. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, Time Riot, definitely jump in and try again, because a lot of that's been resolved. What's up, Talent? I knew the stat boosting traits haven't been moved to abilities rather than spells. Also, the int 1 should probably increase current mana as well as max, since it only lasts 15 seconds. Yeah, some of those are going to have to be revised, Zetsumi. Definitely. And as we revise our stats too, like what stats exactly do, I think some of those will start to get more value in like innately. But that doesn't rule out the possibility of just revamping some of them. I hope track gets improved. I know it was first iteration, but man, it was rough to look at. In what regard, Notorious? Like, I gotta take a look at it myself. Can I do that? Search skill tracking. That skill track 100. I guess maybe as a shaman it just doesn't let me do it. Because my skill and tracking is... Yeah, I'm trying to cheat the system too hard here. It's probably got some like special case that prevents me from having it. Let me take a look on the other characters. Oh, that was fast. I like turned my head to look at the chat, like expecting it to take a while, and that was just boom. All right, here. Yeah, so the selection is kind of weak there for sure. There's no con color. There's no way to organize. So then once you do the thing, oh, you have to keep the window open. That's kind of annoying. Wait, do you? Oh, and then you stop tracking and it's still... Okay. There's kind of a long delay before it starts tracking, too. So obviously he's above me, but... So if I close the window, you stop tracking. I don't know that I like that. I kind of just like closing the window. Like, I don't want it on my screen unless I want to look at it. Continue to look at it. But, I mean, yeah. It's the first pass of it, right? So... Experienced some targeting issues. That was a behavior you experienced? Yeah. Any chance of keys tonight? Never know. Depends on how I'm feeling. Like I said, we gave out a pretty decent amount of keys. Let's see. Yeah, there's 115 characters on Alpha now. So, starting to get into like, okay, this is too many territory. And considering how many keys are out there, if more people started logging in all of a sudden, like, might be getting to beta levels. So, probably gonna just... I'd say keep an eye on the stream. Like, again, I may feel like... I just feel in one of those moods where I'm like, oh man, I want to give out some alpha keys. But I'm gonna kind of monitor the population for the next week and then maybe give some more out after that. We'll see. Are you sure it's not the input eating issue? Depending on FPS resolution, some inputs are eaten. You could easily test it by spamming sit in 2 times intervals and see if you miss a sit command. What do you mean? In 2 times intervals? I mean, I don't think so. Maybe? I think it's definitely an input eating issue, but I don't know that it's... But I think it's specific to clicking on stuff. Like, look. Clicking everywhere. Clicking a ton. And, I mean, eventually it works. I think, like, we've known about this issue in the past, and I think somebody has remedied it a little bit. But I think there's still some targeting issues at play. There was some oddity with targets staying on my target when jumping. It also did something odd with the charm pet. The pet would show as charmed, but would be attacking me. I had to force myself to stop jumping while fighting. What? Interesting. How about making spell sets but requiring you to be in a tavern inn? That's an interesting idea. I definitely think there's things we can do like that. Where you have to be at a tavern or inn to do certain things. Any plans to be changing or enhancing your current target indicators more than just the color of the name, but maybe a circle indicator around the target on the ground? No targeting circles. We're not going to do that. But enlarging the name. I don't know. I don't know what kind of customization stuff we might add. We want to be careful to not like add anything that's like. We want the game to be displayed in a certain way. Obviously, there's going to be some customization options for that, but we're really against in-world UI elements for the most part. Like anything so disabling your UI, right? Like if I click on this dude, there shouldn't be like a UI thing here, right? Like other than the name tag. The name tag is pretty classic. Everyone's cool with that. But yeah, like we don't want like all these elegant like targeting circles and combat text and stuff to appear. Like the UI is the UI and then the game is the game, essentially. That's kind of our philosophy. And it may seem a little backwards for sure, but it's just like, I don't know, it's just the vibe we're going for. Best way I can put it. But you never know, like maybe like when something's targeted, you can have little carrots or something. Had a great time with the weekend stress test. Excited to participate in EA. Only feedback would be that enemies that fear can make players run off cliffs. Just a public service announcement in case that's intended. Yeah, that's... So we've been adjusting some of the ability lists, I think. So like necromancers near cliffs might not do that, but yeah, it's... I think it's cool to have like dangerous mobs, but if it's just too common, where like you're just it's an unplayable camp, then I think it might be too much, right? But yeah, we'll have to see on that one. Let me see. I'll make a note on that one just to see if there's anything we could do with the pathing, or because we talked about maybe making it so like fear has kind of a smart behavior that doesn't always do that. Or... Is there some kind of rebalancing coming for mining? I made around 40 gold in a day just by vendoring the stones, and it feels stupid that I could do it at level 1 also. What level of mining were you? Was that like really high level stone? If that was higher tier stone, then maybe that's just a economy issue that we need to address. You want to hide the UI commands window? Yeah. I think you should at least be able to collapse it. I think I mentioned command. Yeah, I have a task for collapsing the commands panel. So, at the very minimum, you'll be able to collapse it and then maybe like alpha it out. I don't want less night, just maybe a longer day and longer night, more dusk and dawn. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, the length of day and night, or like a full day, a full game day. We want to make sure that like people that have shorter play session times, have time to experience it. But yeah, that's not to say we should tune around that necessarily, but it's just kind of one of the thoughts behind it. And it used to be a lot shorter. We made it longer. But that was like way back when. And yeah, you got to keep in mind that a lot of people that are playing our game are playing it in longer sessions. So, that's our core people, right? I like that there aren't maps, but will you be able to /look in the future for location within the zone? No, there won't be /look. The reason for that is we don't want people parsing their GPS maps, like nparse on EverQuest and stuff like that. And also, yeah, even if we have logging disabled, I'm pretty sure that, you know, there are ways, you know, yeah, it's just, no, we're not going to do it. Any intention on Wolfform giving offense or anything like an EQ? Mostly just cosmetic difference from style at the moment. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me add that to my class list. Is just Wolfform needing some kind of perk potentially. I also heard you're giving shamans a kick ability. Did I say that? I don't remember saying that one. I kind of like that, you know, you kind of have to rely on clerics have stun. Druids potentially could have stun. I kind of like that, you know, there are classes that depend on other classes for interrupts. Like, I think that's part of the whole interdependence of classes and group focus nature of the game. So, I don't want to give classes too much utility, right? Because Shaman has an insane amount of utility as is. Sup, Nick? Did y'all learn what needed from this test? Yeah, I think so, Ghastly. But we may have to run another stress test in the near future. Stackable serum / potions and being able to vendor them? Oh, are they not stackable? Hold on a second. I think it makes sense to just make those stackable. Hey, Iron Dad Games! Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. We're just yapping about Monsters and Memories, this indie game that myself and our team have been developing. I'm one of the developers on the project. But yeah, if you like classic, old school, EverQuest style feeling MMOs, then come check out Monsters and Memories. But hey, thanks again for the raid, Iron Dad Games. Appreciate that, man. Welcome in. Yeah, so let me put that on my list. I'll probably be making them stackable. Fugowi. classes are very similar to EQ classes. Is the goal? Is that the goal, or will there be things added to each class to make M stand out a bit more? So, yeah, like, there's definitely meant to be a certain degree of like classic feeling to it, and like familiarity. But there is also meant to be a large sprinkling of other stuff that makes the classes stand out from like kind of an M angle. And I definitely, kind of borrow ideas from other MMOs to accomplish that, and then just come up. And not only MMOs, other games. Heroes of the Storm, comes to mind is one of the games that I have drawn inspiration from, and there's definitely some other games out there that I definitely really like and think have really cool ability and stuff, and then I just think about other stuff too. Like I try to think of unique ideas that I just want to see in a game, and so yeah, there's definitely intended to be a bunch of stuff that's unique feeling. Has there been consideration on having the combat trait skills placeable in the hotbar instead of the memorization bar? Yeah, we're working on that, actually. It's already in progress. So there's going to be certain, for the traits, for example, there's going to be abilities like shoot arrow and throw dagger, throwing dagger. That is going to be placeable on your hotbar. And maybe certain cooldown abilities. So we're adding the functionality to allow you to be automatically granted this stuff. So some of the starter ability scrolls will probably be going away, and just like auto scribing to your ability skills. But yeah, so definitely derelicts. Emiliano says hi. Hey, how's it going, Emiliano? I really just want to say you guys are cooking, and while I'm eager to get in, I appreciate y'all taking your time. Hey, thanks, Moose. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we're trying, and yeah, we're trying to do all the things, and then just be careful, and we so pushing back the beta, we definitely wanted there to be like a feeling of evolution, right? And we're working on a few things that need to be done for beta to really feel like a beta, and I think that'll be worth the wait. So yeah. What is Druid Jackal form for? Some kind of faction benefit? Potentially, yeah. But also just flavor. A different way of obtaining the Sao buff, right? Like instead of Sao, it's an illusion Sao. And then just as somebody mentioned above, like wolf form should have some kind of perk to it, right? So Jackal form may have like a slightly different perk. But I think it was fun to like have not only wolf form, but like jackal form and stuff like that. So maybe jackal form is something that you obtain separately. It's kind of like a horizontal progression thing. Because like obviously we have tree form, right? But then there's also cactus form, right? So like you got wolf form, jackal form. You got tree form, you got cactus form, right? So this could be like a little side quest or progression that you do, as opposed to just being like a merchant bot spell. So mostly just for class fantasy, and it's because it's fun. Like, not every ability has to make sense, in my opinion. I think just having fun abilities and ways to roleplay and ways to be silly, I think, is really fun in this style of social MMO. Any plans to make ground up plants have different colored icons? Which ground up plants? Ground up plants. Oh, like the grinded powder for alchemy. Herbalism, alchemy. Icon lurks are needed. Made a note. I don't know if you could talk about it, but what kind of data were you guys collecting at the start of the test? Back when there was only one PvE server? So we were seeing the effects of population on the server profile. So we were seeing like what is causing like the server the most like memory or whatever. What is causing lag essentially? And we found some bottlenecks at 450 plus. I'm not privy to the exact issue, but I expect Ollie, Sean, and I to discuss that tomorrow on our call. And then see what we can do about fixing them, and then figuring out timing for the next stress test. Because it sounds like Ollie wants to do another stress test. MobCon is too far for tracking. Filtering mob types is neat. Noted. Loading times being fast was a pleasant surprise. Yeah, it is a pleasant surprise. So if you guys haven't seen that yet, dude, Wormsbane especially. Let's just, you know, I should just zone Wormsbane. Save myself the time. Oh, dev server. So that took actually a few more seconds because on the dev server, I think zones need to spin up. So let's just zone back and forth and see. So that's entering Night Harbor. Oh, this looks a little bit different. Is the lighting in here? Huh? Time set 12 a.m. That's strange. Something happened with the lighting in here, looks like. But yeah, weird. Maybe something happened when I zoned, or I don't know. I'm gonna try a fresh client here in a second. But yeah, look at it. Boom. Like really fast zoning. Maybe it's because my gamma's too... I don't think it would be. Maybe it's a gamma issue. Any chance to allow us to be able to adjust con chat colors? The specific blue that I used have a very hard time reading. Do we allow that? Probably not. I'll add it to the task list for UIs. But yeah. Okay. Let me try doing a quick client restart. Oh, it's gonna do this thing. Yeah, this is another thing we gotta fix that you guys brought up. And yeah, that one's been annoying me. I hit a quick patch just in case. A little quick client repair. Looks like it is downloading something, so. Nick, thanks for the playtest. Yeah, you're welcome. Two days since last cold brew. Nick, are you okay? Yeah, I'm doing okay. You know what? I think I can just naturally do pretty good with the chat. Um, I don't think I need to caffeine up to do my streams. If someone wants to share their alpha account, let me know. Don't do that. When do you think the closed beta will start? I heard it was pushed back. So yeah, it's been pushed back a little bit. We don't have a date, but when we are happy with everything that we want to, everything that we want in the game to progress to beta, then we'll do it. Regarding the extended buff timers, I would have liked to see it implemented as an item focus effect, a research spell, or maybe something like an eventual AA. Do you think we'll see EQ-like focus effects along those lines down the road? Yes, I do think you'll see effects like that. What's up, Nicodemus? Just saw you in Night Harbor, man. On the who list. Alright, let's see. See if the lighting is still messed up in there. Let me... Hold on, guys. I gotta add a team member's family member to the alpha. Sorry, guys. I know some of you are chomping at the bit to get into this alpha, but friends and family, especially family of team members, gotta get them in. Have I experienced Vanguard Saga of Heroes crafting? No, I have not. Maybe I should hop on the Vanguard emulator at some point. But I've heard good things about it. Although I don't know what form, because I think I've heard about it, like that at one point it was like really cool, and then they kind of changed it and made it less cool. So I wonder if even if I did hop on that emulator, that it would be informative or not. But yeah, it looks like the lighting is kind of weird in here. But yeah, maybe it's just a matter of reading up on the old crafting, how it worked. Please no floating combat text. It isn't an arcade game. I mean, I think it could be done right, but I don't know that we're going to do it. At least not for this version of the game. Like, if we do something down the line where it's kind of more of an advanced Monsters and Memories experience, then potentially. But we're completely focused on core game. We're not even thinking about that stuff right now. Well, I always think 2 steps ahead, but... yeah, we're focused on this core experience and creating a certain vibe with that. So, not looking at it. We've talked about it a little bit, like maybe including it, but I think we're kind of away from it. We may do things with like the chat log to make it feel like it pops more, like the combat log. That feels nice and the feedback is better in the combat log itself. But yeah, probably not doing that. Or at least in the game world. Mind control when? Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I kind of like the idea of doing a mind control as opposed to charm. Like that you can know where the boat is based on time of day. It always docks the same time. Yeah, it is kind of nice, isn't it? Slash dance? Yeah, we do need a slash dance. Animations are going to continue to get fleshed out. There's still a lot of core animation stuff that we want to do. Obviously, dance is pretty damn core, but in terms of like idle and combat stuff, like there's even more we want to do there. Don't get it totally wrong about the mining. I sink about 80 plus hours into it. Previous playtest and the latest one got me into that. Get me in the alpha, and I'll show you how easily it's done after you know where to go and how to rotate. Nice. Druids should have root snare. Stun is not thematic to druids. They had like a, I think in EQ they had like a lightning bolt, right? Like they had kind of a pushback slash stun. Like, oh, they also had like whirling wind, I think. But yeah, I get the point, right? They should have root snare. They shouldn't have stuns. Like I think those were maybe like micro stuns as opposed to like multi-second stuns. Chance of stun into lightning thunder effects. Yeah, that could be cool. Dude, I think I keep scrolling up. Like, leveling alchemy has a pain of inventory space. How's it going tonight? Pretty good, Pipes. Feeling a lot better. Recovering. Nice, so nasty. Gotta hand it to you, since seeing it on Quorum, I thought the skill sets were gonna be a must, but having the longer duration buffs really relieved a lot of the strain from having to constantly switch bars. Nice, Pipes. VV sleeping? Oh. I'm so eager to get into alpha, I'm going to change my work schedule completely when I win an alpha key. Nice. Chat tab should have the option to be resized, not the window, but the little tab at the top of your name. The fonts on the tabs don't seem to scale and match with the font in the window as you increase/decrease it. Make a note. Hey Nick, really enjoying watching the game develop. I appreciate the company's choice in art style and design choices. Really conveys a virtual world. Hey, thanks for the nice message, Moo Reaper. Glad that you're enjoying things. Are stats being pulled from this weekend, or just for your all's data? I don't know if we're going to be doing the same kind of, like, stat information on the just the stress test, because it's definitely skewed, right? Compared to it's just, yeah, it's a little bit skewed, so I don't know that we're gonna do that, but I could be wrong. What is the plan for marketing? You're seeing it right now. We're just gonna talk to our audience, you know, word of mouth. We're gonna probably, so we did like a post on MMORPG Indie Spotlight a year or two ago, and that was like, that got so many views, so many, like, I think it was the most viewed Spotlight ever on the subreddit. I could be wrong on this, but it's like, yeah, if it's not one, it's like 2 or something. It's like definitely top 3. I thought it was number one. I think our games also does a like Sunday indie spotlight. We'll probably I've wanted to do something with that. In the past, before like all the kind of stuff went down with OTK, we're considering doing like the OTK Games Fest. At least a couple of us thought it would have been a cool idea to do so. I don't know if like it has to play anymore. Because, and I don't know that that particular show is even continuing, or it seems to have like downscaled, or just it's, I don't know. But marketing, yeah, like I think it'll be a more dedicated like kind of marketing push later when the game is closer to done like 1.0 status. I think we're okay with kind of just like gradual growth and word of mouth and streamers and all that, you know, stuff, kind of you guys spreading the word. Development streams, our YouTube channel, things like that. Favorite new spell is the knockback route. Nice. You mean on Archer? Or is it the Shaman one that you're talking about? Because the Archer one's meant to, if it hits you against the wall, but right now it's just does it. Plans for more unique spell and buff icons? There's a lot of repeating icons currently. Yeah, definitely plans for more. But I don't know that we'll ever not have a repeating one. We'll have to see on that. See on that front. Did you make darkness less dark? Yeah. So there's a gamma slider. There's a gamma slider now, and I think nighttime has gotten a little bit brighter because of some lighting tweak stuff. But we're still messing with things. It's, you know, you never know how it's gonna land when it's all said and done. Hi, I joined the M&M stress test for the last few hours. It was up. Downloaded the client. When I loaded it up, it was awfully low FPS, massive lag when changing from day, night, etc. It was nothing like how your game is currently running. Any idea what was up? What's your specs? What are your hardware specs, Fursy? So our game is built with Unity HDRP, the high definition render pipeline, and it requires pretty beefy specs. It may be a thing that we do in the future because the universal URP, universal render pipeline of Unity, is catching up to HDRP. And HDRP really isn't, I think, being designed for gaming. I think it's more designed for, like, I don't know, movies or something, or whatever you do, right? So I don't know that if we're able to make the game look just as good in URP, that will lower the floor, or increase the floor, lower the floor. It'll make lower spec machines able to play better. So I don't know if it's like a hardware spec issue for you or not, because Unity games are very CPU intensive. I have a 9950X. So, like, let's see. Target frame rate. Or actually, target frame rate -1, so that's uncapped. So yeah, like, I had my FPS capped at 60, but as you can see, like, indoors it can get quite a bit higher. Or uncapped it could get quite a bit higher. So yeah, it can be really, really smooth. It's just, what machine are you playing on? And Night Harbor in particular is very intensive. So I'd recommend next playtest, maybe try playing so when you create your character, you can make a wood elf or a halfling. And you could try doing try select Falendrill. This may play better for you. Night Harbor is like very intensive, and it's the zone you start in for a majority of the races. But if you select Falendrill, Falendrill, I don't know. That may help. And then yeah, those future render pipeline changes may help as well. Only problem is with uncapped FPS at the moment. Look at this guy. What is he doing? We gotta fix that one. There's always been some kind of high FPS issues. But yeah, capping it at 60 will prevent that from happening. And then it'll also, your computer, your graphics card and everything will thank you. So it won't be so, working so hard. Alright, I gotta be like ages behind in the chat. My Voodoo 2 card can't handle this game? Yeah. The contrast of modern lighting and hand-painted textures is pretty awesome. Yeah, like... I think there's a lot of people on the fence about our game because they're like, oh, the graphics, but I think, like... I don't know, man. Like, I think the game is beautiful. Like, there's a lot of, like, efforts to make games, like, high fidelity, like, modern graphics, and then a lot of games, like, attempt that, and then they just kind of miss it, right? Like, they miss the landing on it. Now, stylistically, like, some people just may prefer that, right? But I think a really good stylized game is gonna be better than a really bad realistic game, you know what I mean? So, definitely keep that in mind. Grat Sir Nasty. Rarzerk. Thank you for the Prime. Appreciate that. What's up, John NS? How's it going? I'm doing pretty good. Recovering. Is there any consideration to add further mud style conversation? I definitely would have liked to be able to pick my Rangers trainer's brain a bit more about quest items, locations, and perhaps the origin of the Night Harbor Rangers. That's a really good idea, Howdy. Let me make a note. Definitely want to see more of that stuff for sure. We were just talking about it last night, and on Quado's stream. So, yeah. I think more of it will come over time when we're, like, we fleshed out a lot of, like, kind of quest stuff that we want to do, but I think it makes sense to start thinking about some of that sooner, because, like, it's just fun, and it's also helpful. Will early access progress roll into launch? Yeah, so, when early access launch happens, that will be the launch of Monsters and Memories. That is the launch of the game. You know, we're not trying to, like, say that, oh, early access is just testing. No, it's the game. Now it's definitely a vertical slice, but we feel that it's a large vertical slice, especially compared to a lot of the offerings out there, I would say, in terms of, like, especially in the indie space, right? So I think we've built a pretty impressively sized indie game for an indie team. Now, yes, your characters will persist. So that's the launch of the game. Your characters will persist. However, as we release our modules, which are mini expansions that kind of add up to the whole 1.0 experience, we will periodically release fresh launch servers. So if you're on the fence, you're like, I don't want to play early access for whatever reason, right? There will be opportunities at certain intervals of development, and especially at 1.0 release, to have a fresh server launch experience. So early access servers will not be wiped ever. However, there will be the opportunity to have a fresh experience post early access launch. Vanguard Saga of Heroes was great. Too bad what happened. Yeah. Man. I'd love for there to be some way to do something for Vanguard someday. Like, I don't know what kind of opportunities making Monsters and Memories is going to afford us. Obviously, the opportunity to continue working on this game, making it better, finishing it, and providing a great experience for you guys for years to come. But if it gives us the ability to do some good in the gaming space, then I would love that. I'd really, really love that. And it's something we've discussed, right? Is like, is there anything we can do for some of these older games that have shut down or are kind of defunct? And can we get some of those games and get them running again properly? That would be amazing. So that's definitely something that's on our mind, and it's, you know, kind of the way that in the future we'd love to do business, right? But yeah, Monsters and Memories first and foremost, obviously, but we definitely think about these kinds of things. Advanced Monsters and Memories, second edition. Darius, you get it. Spread the good word. Like, that Nick guy, he's got ideas. Advanced Monsters and Memories. But that's a tale for another day. We've got a lot ahead of us. Yeah. Elgnosis, I hear you. Let's just say, like, it's not completely off the table, Agnosis, with the floating combat text. Like, and again, like, related to the last topic, like, maybe that's something for that specific, if we do a version like that. But yeah, you may see it in this version. We'll see. I don't know. What server regions are you planning on releasing as part of early access? Exclusively NA? We're probably going to do exclusively NA and mostly East Coast servers, but I think at least I would like for us to do some West Coast servers as well, at least one. This will help for people. There was a conversation last night in Quado's stream about the Oceanic players, and having a West Coast server available for them would be quite nice. You know, and in other players from that kind of area, right? So that they could play on the West Coast server and have, like, at least a reasonable ping, right? I don't know that we're going to do a dedicated Europe server unless there is a overwhelming demand for one. This, I would say our audience is very NA focused. And East Coast NA in Europe are highly compatible with each other, I would say. So playing on on NA East is pretty good for Europe, I would say. But you never know. Like maybe there is demand for it. So we'll see. What's the best way to reach out to you and the team for business inquiries? You can email me at Nick at nicheworldscult.com. I don't know why I said Nick. I don't know. It's the lack of Kirkland. I can't pronounce. I'm turning like I don't know, man. So here, I'll type it in chat. Nicholas. So yeah, Nick at nicheworldscult.com. Yeah, Nick. I was trying to hit that niche before I got Nick out, and it kind of flubbed me up. Mind control feels more balanced. Losing control of your character IMO could be neat for Inquisitor over a full charm. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, join a cult. Regarding chat, is it in the pipeline to be able to click on someone's name in chat to send them a tell? Yeah. I would say so. Like, that'd be nice. Let me make a note on that one too. Or encrypt. We're just adding things to the list, and but he's quick, he's good, so I believe in him. Yeah, I hear you, Algnosis. Oh yeah. So definitely the ability to like turn your combat chat into like a pseudo floating combat text. I think that is super reasonable. Like with different alpha settings and specific chat settings for a specific box. I think that there's a lot we can do to support that. And yeah, that would be if we, you know, didn't for some reason do the actual floating combat text, but would be awesome for buffs casted an in to have their duration increased. Yeah, so we talked about maybe some kind of like, so the topic of Star Wars Galaxy's entertainers came up last night when we were talking with Quados, and you know, maybe some kind of buff or performance they can do in the inn that like makes you rested longer, or maybe makes your buff duration longer, or like a massive group buff kind of situation. So yeah, definitely going to think about that one with the class stuff. Let me see if I have a note for that. It'd be cool if like you could extend your rested at the inn if a bard plays or something. Even if you don't have like an inn room or a or kind of like a housing setup. Although I'd be worried about that kind of encroaching on the one of the main purposes of doing the housing in inn rooms, so While you're checking notes, make sure you noted River of Beer. River of Beer is etched in my brain. Like, there's no note required. Like, I can't actually go through life without even just, I'm always just imagining I'm on a river of beer. Like, almost like a lazy river kind of situation. People are trying to swim through the river of beer. I'm just on like a inner tube kind of thing, just like sipping a nice cold drink and watching you guys try to get through the river of beer. So you're gonna quit your job when Eminem comes out? Derp alert. You sure you want to do that? I mean, you can if you want, but you just want to make sure you're sure about it. If you are, I'm all for it. Stress test, not a home run, but definitely better than a base hit. Client much more stable, server feeling better, but still some hiccups and things. Purely performance feedback, not content. Yeah, Master J, so the client performance is something we're still going to be focusing on. We've been focused on the server performance, and outside of the the bottleneck of 450 plus kind of that I've been floating, and Ollie has kind of floated, is there was no crashes, so that was a major win. No server crash. So we've kind of eliminated a lot of the like memory leak situations and like weirdness. But yeah, we've also had, we just got in the ability kind of prediction system, so there's a couple quirks and bugs to fix with it. I know that we've fixed a couple, or at least one thing about it post stress test. Obviously the mobs like vibrating or whatever, that's been addressed already. But yeah, we're gonna see the results of the stress test, like look at more of the data, look at the profiles, and see what kind of fixes we can cook up, and then probably stress test again. So, but yeah, thanks, Master Josso. I definitely, I think that's a very level-headed take. Like, better than a base hit. Yeah, it's like a double, right? Maybe you can tie increased buff duration to some sort of rested modifier? That's an interesting one. Yeah, you gotta think about that more, because there's still more we want to do with rested. There's still more we want to do with, like, ins and stuff like that, so... Do you plan for dual wield / two-hand fighter to create more threat than sword and board with shield bash? I think it, like, on straight auto attacks, yes. That would be the case. And then shield bash... Well, do I intend for it to create more threat? I don't know. Because, like, I think sword and board being a high threat would be nice, obviously, because it's like, you're dedicated yourself to tanking, right? So that's why there's a threat modifier on shield bash. But I don't know how the math works out exactly. That'd be something we need to, like, do a sim on. Or just test. But I think, it'd be reasonable to have ways for a shield bash guy to be really high threat. Buffs cast add an in to have their duration increased. That, I'm going to think about that one more, because that... Like, so you're saying like go back to the 30-minute and then make it an hour if you're at the end, or are you saying an hour in the world and then longer if at an end? Because then I think, like, unless it's some kind of special event, I think going longer than an hour might be a little too much. But if it's like a special, like, massive group buff, bard ensemble, entertainer, SWG entertainer kind of situation, then maybe it feels good. Like, I don't know. I'll think about it. That I definitely have noted that down. But yeah, I wouldn't want buff durations to get too crazy, right? Tried it first time in the stress test, enjoyed myself, but my buddy also tried and got frustrated by the lack of directional cues in the starting city. He wandered around a bit, died a few times, and gave up. Maybe some subtle new player handholding would help. Yeah, I hear you, definitely. That's definitely sounds like the kind of textbook. I haven't played a game like this before kind of experience. And I think there's going to be, you know, some degree of like new player guidance, but I think like you shouldn't expect this kind of game to automatically hold your hand. I think you should kind of have to put in the effort. You'd have to like play the offline tutorial when it's available, read the new player guide, ask people in game, have a friend help you and guide you. But yeah, no, there is definitely going to be a certain degree of people that churn that have an experience just like that. Are there things that we can do? Probably. But we don't want to go too heavy-handed with it and go like overly tutorialized. So it just might not be the game for certain people, and that's okay. But at the same time, you know, it'd be cool to do some things to help people like that, right? So it's definitely an ongoing topic, Zerg Burglar. If the next stress test rocks, are we forever merging Rel and Krivia? I think that would be fun. It'd be interesting to see how the content holds up in overpopulation. Marketing plan, talk to your friends. Exactly, Ralos. Tell your friends, tell your family. My brother left me on red. Howdy, howdy. Sorry to hear that. I noticed a lot of occlusion issues in the stress test. I'd walk into an area and see through walls at certain angles. Yeah, we're aware. We're doing our best with that stuff. Well, we're trying to fix it in certain areas, right? Like, there's definitely areas where it occurs in that we need to address. I would say if you experience stuff like that, and it's not like a global thing, then definitely submit a bug report with screenshot or video on the specific location in our bug report forums on Discord. Is this the castle in Fallen Pass? No, this is Wormsbane. This is Tomb of the Last Wormsbane. It's the first little mini dungeon. Well, not mini dungeon. It's the first dungeon in the game. Oh, wait. I can see a name tag through there. What the heck? me add this to general geo issues issue. Buff bar requiring 2 clicks sometimes to pull up the buff description. The first long click sometimes doesn't register. Worked for me there. Obviously, you can like hold down left click. Maybe that's what was occurring. But I did see during the stress test that removing a buff was taking a long time under lag. Like extreme lag, right? Darkness is basically a non-issue now. Yeah. What are your some of your favorite things about the game? Definitely the lighting, the skybox, the water. So a lot of like modern graphical things that we've done. The art is incredible. The music is phenomenal. I love the music so much. I love the music. It makes me nostalgic. It makes me emotional. It makes me proud. Like, yeah, the music is amazing. I mean, the gameplay, right? Like, keeping this kind of game alive and making a new game like this to be released in 2026, you know, so many years after the launch of EverQuest. I think that in itself is awesome. And then the fact that we're not only just taking that gameplay and then just, you know, like we're building on that kind of gameplay. I do get this. I do see the term clone thrown around a lot, and that's just not true. Like, we're going to be building a game that has a lot of new cool stuff in it and a lot of cool ideas that aren't really seen in the current MMO offerings, I think. So, yeah. It's just awesome to be able to be a part of this and make it come to life, right? See it come to life, make it come to life. And then just being able to possibly have the opportunity to do this as a career, I think, is extremely fulfilling. It's extremely fun. Not gonna say it's without challenge or any hardship. It certainly is. Especially, you know, how much time and effort we've put in over the years as volunteers and whatnot. But yeah, I love everything about it. In regards to the gamma slider, for those that want to use it, do you think it would be possible to make a macro to set the gamma so you don't have to go into the menus? Maybe. I don't know if we want... Maybe. Let me see if that's something that's reasonable or not. Because some opinions on the team may be like, oh, we don't want people to be able to like cheese it that easy. Like, I thought there was maybe a discussion of not having the gamma slider, but you have a calibration that you can only do. I don't know. But that would be kind of weird too, right? Like, I don't know if that would make sense either. Is it reasonable to suggest that we could have a macro or a command for gamma? So yeah, I'll make a note of that. I think it's reasonable, but I got to make sure that it's what we want. Any plans to make the Wizard Electric line have more than a shocking VFX? Also, some effects for the lures would be cool. Let me make a note for that as well. See if there's anything I can do there. The initial plan way back when was for Wizards for their nukes to have additional effects on them. So I think that seems fun. Oh, interesting, Sir Nasty. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I believe there were talks about merging HDRP and URP into something new. So there was, I think there was plans to make a unified render pipeline, Fainronic. But I think what happened with that was, they're just not doing it anymore. That would have been really, really nice, right? Being able to like toggle between for like different versions of the client, like an HDRP version or a URP version, or like a whatever it was supposed to be, right? But I don't know that Unity's doing that anymore. Really interested to see what the Unity conference next month, the Unite event, if there's any big information that comes out of there. High L for Module 1 or later? Later. Oh yeah, did I change my... Are you talking about for the lighting thing, John? Let me see. I think recommended is... Wait, performance, compatibility... I think recommended is the good one, right? So, at least for me. Seeing your goblin makes me want to hop on P99 to weird flex on my troll shaman sporting full ruby sight in EC tunnel and click my halfling illusion quest 1 charge mask while buffing randoms. Sounds like a good plan, Lazy. It's going to build you an amazing community that lasts years and loves what you've made for a long, long time. We're going to be ever thankful for your effort to give gamers a home. Yeah, I hope so, Sir Nasty. That's the goal. What are your thoughts on where trading is today? I found that I could easily buy gear or jewelry up to tarnished bronze without interacting with any players. It makes sense to increase the merchant prices for buyers and drop the sale price for crafters. Yeah, that's actually one of the major things that we're looking at for game balance right now, Relos. Can we see what floating combat text looks like? It's not in here. We don't have it right now. Advanced M&M would be a great name for a sequel down the road. Yeah. Praying for a West Coast server? I think it's happening for sure, Rarzerk. I'm gonna vouch for it. Heard about this game through a forum added to the THJ Discord server and I'm grateful for them sharing it. Absolutely pumped for the playtest in November. Hey, Eli. Glad you found it, man. Yeah, it was really nice of them to add that forum for us. So if you guys didn't hear, I think THJ has kind of like rebranded into like a multi-gaming like community, like for discussing about, you know, kind of adjacent games and projects. So thank you to them. So it's now the Discord is called Legends Rest, and there's some. Not only was there an M&M forum post in their kind of like gaming topics, but they said they would add a dedicated forum for any games that received the top 5 votes. So we were one of the top 5 voted posts. So we have a forum on there. So if you guys are still on the THJ Discord or are interested in chatting in their community and talking about stuff, then yeah, feel free to post in that forum thread. That'd be awesome. Share the good word, you know? But yeah, thanks again to the Discord staff over there for doing that. That was really, really nice. Can we get audio cues for resist? Hard to see spells land in spammy text, and having to watch log instead of combat feels bad. Yeah, I think it makes sense to have more sound cues for stuff, because like that's kind of like one of the main uses of Gina and other kind of like combat overlays from EverQuest. And I think like, you know what really came to mind for me is invisibility fading, right? You guys remember the invisibility sound from Quake 1? Let's see if I can find this. That was just so iconic to me for some reason. I can't find it. Oh wait, power-ups, weapons, sound effects? Right here. It's like invisibility, but where's the fading sound? Yeah. So something like that, I think, could be neat, right? Like, something thematic sounding and... What's up, Sean Heidi? How's it going, bud? What's up, Zen Zero? Dude, I'm so high up in the chat. What's up, Wool Socks? Yeah, it's fun to place down torches in the world. Happy birthday, rock and roll clown. Glad that you're floating on the Beer River. 706 players in Night Harbor was pretty epic. Yeah. Stress test over? Yep. Does population increase spawn rates on anything? Not currently, but we do have pretty fast spawn rates for some of the like early stuff. Skeletons in the dragon graveyard of glass flats are painful still. They keep facing through the ground, even worse than before. Make a note. I know the bats over there were also getting stuck in the cliffs. I did point that out to one of our environment artists that works on some of that stuff. So, yeah, I'll make sure that the glass flat stuff gets cleaned up. Thank goodness for fixing the vibrating mobs. Yeah. Where's the 5 bomber tonight? Do I do a giveaway? Is there a giveaway angle tonight? I don't know. I haven't had a Kirkland, so I'm not like completely giddy, but I am pretty pleased with the stress test and that you're all here chatting with me. It was a lot of fun. Thanks, Sean Heidi. It's funny. Okay, so I've got chat scrolled up on Chatterino, and I'm at the bottom of the chat on my just like default Twitch dashboard chat. So I'm able to like look at the bottom of the chat, but I'm also able to look at where I am in the chat. So I'm trying to kind of like multitask this now. I don't know if it's gonna work, but I think things like torch usage, mud actions, and how to sell things should be explicitly shown for new players. Yeah, and I think the offline tutorial stuff is going to be really good for that. Would I rather be 9 feet tall or 3 feet tall? Definitely 9 feet. Actually, I don't know. That seems like it'd be kind of crazy. But in general, yeah, probably 9 feet. So then I'd dominate the NBA, right? I'd be like the tallest guy ever. I'd just like walk up to the basket and be like, "What's up, Biscuit NA?" All right, back to the scrolled up chat. What's up, Clown Skates? Whenever that was. Ancient Crypt was already way too overcamped. Please don't merge yet. So what do you guys think? Would adding some additional density to Ancient Crypt be a plus or a negative? I know some people like it because it's a little bit safer and a little bit less dense. But maybe like certain camps or rooms could be a little bit more dense so that you could just like pull extra mobs or whatever. Whoa. It's buffing time. Everybody's getting their buffs. Sheesh. That's a lot. Gets a bit cramped. Yeah, I love the little sound effects that the Bard songs do in Daok. But those are kind of auras in Daok, right? Whereas in Eminem and EQ and stuff, like you're like constantly casting them. What is the most dense population we could get away with? You think would be? Would it just be Train City? I mean, you wouldn't want to go like too crazy dense, right? But I think Ancient Crypt in particular is not very dense. I think Wormsbane. I mean, I'm biased, right? I populated Wormsbane. I like the density of Wormsbane. For sure. But yeah, Wormsbane is obviously one of the kind of more train-prone zones, right? Like, Wormsbane feels really good. Thanks. Do we do like one giveaway? I think we maybe just do one giveaway per stream until we're sure that. All right, let me look at how many people are on alpha. Oh, uh-oh. I think I just saw there was up to 132 people, I think. Whoa. I think we could do a 1x giveaway and we'll probably be safe. But we're going to have to cut down on a little bit on the giveaways. But you know, we got to keep you guys on your toes. So maybe we do a 1xer. No vision is a feature. We needs it. Dude, I was thinking about, like, if for some reason that didn't work in Eminem, I was thinking about making it the racial for deep gnomes. Because they have those, like, flashlight eyes. They could be, like, X-ray vision eyes. Or something. That might be fun. Did Elf starting place have dungeons? Group looked all over, found a few caves, but no dungeons. Yeah, there's like caves and stuff, and there's like a there is like a cave with with some there is some named content and some like dungeon density feeling caves. But yeah, we're looking at adding a low level and a high level dungeon, possibly for EA launch. No promises or anything, but that is kind of one of the goals that we have. And that would be, yeah, right there in the Calafray region. Plus, that doesn't include the mini dungeon that we've already been adding to Scarwood, the underwater mini dungeon. And that, yeah. So these two dungeons would be different. Nick, I don't know if you have this yet, but I think adding a modifier to pickpocketing mobs would add a buff for unique rogue loot, kind of like how the scorched effect from spells gives cooked meat. That way we could pickpocket funny flavor items like diaries and silly things, maybe even rogues' specific quests. Trying to imagine how that would work, but yeah, more conditional stuff like that would be really, really fun. Oh, so you're saying like you pickpocket, somehow there's like a conditional, right? And then it adds additional loot to their table that's pickpocketing specific. That would be pretty cool. Just trying to think out how that would exactly work. Man, the music is so good. Running through Sungreet Strand is a treat. Isn't it? Did anyone else get a bug where certain belt slots would not accept bags? You mean like satchels and stuff? The satchels are not meant to go in the belt slot. Only pouches are. But pouches can go in the bag slot. That makes sense. CSS bag belt. This is actually a recent fix. This is obviously needs addressing. But pouches are bag belt. Satchels are just bag. Backpacks are backpack. Music's incredible. I listen to it around the house. Yeah. Just registered and downloaded tonight. Excited for next test. Hey, awesome, Utmost. Shouldn't be cloned, rather can be labeled as EQ-like. Yeah. Is there work being done with scripting more NPCs? A lot of them just standing around doing nothing feels very placeholder. Is that specific? Oh, like these dudes? Yeah, well, there's always going to be just static mobs, right? In terms of having more roamers, yeah, I think Wormsbane could probably benefit from a couple more roamers. This area is kind of roamer light, actually. I think some roamers in this Dario camp area would be welcome. This guy is a roamer. Pretty sure he goes like from here to here or something. But yeah, like more roamers in general is a welcome thing. Let me get to a different zone so we can like vibe out. Sent you an email for you to review at your earliest convenience. Gotta head to bed. Take care and have a great stream. Thanks, Iron Dad Games. I'm sure you're probably already in bed by the time I read your message, but thanks for the raid and thank you for coming out. Bless Nick for doing his best to read as many comments as possible. Yeah, like try to do my best. Notice a lot of players are not using torches as before the Gamma Slider and Infravision updates. It could be, however, veteran players kind of know where they're going in the darkness. Yeah, I think it's mostly the Gamma Slider, if I'm being honest. Time to get to wifey from the airport. DM if you send a key. Wishful thinking. Sounds good, Pizzles. Have a safe drive. Charged bronze felt like my reward for earning the vendor system. Yeah. We gotta make sure it's not overpowered, though, you know? The ability to just, like, easily get vendor-sold gear like that is... I don't think it's it. I've seen, like, 20 people on the new EQMU Discord that seem to be trying to... Oh, boy. I won't read that out so they don't get any ire, but... Marking this here for Nick to know, this was posted at 9:32 p.m. Eastern. Oh my god! Oh, Lord. I am 15 minutes behind in chat. That's actually insane. Alright. Sorry, everybody. Do you spill any beans on Druid development? Pretty standard fare. Any departures from tradition? I think there's going to be some fun twists and turns. Don't want to spoil too much, though. Definitely standard stuff, but also some fun toys here and there. Elf starting area had a lot of bouncing mobs. Yeah, that's been fixed. What's up, Seawalk? Good night, Black Rose. I think the challenge with Ancient Crypt is that it's not that big of a dungeon. Maybe adding a wing or two would help. Yeah, maybe. A lot of Ancient Crypt feedback. We broke 200 in stream. Time for 2 keys. Yeah, see what's it alpha at now? Now alpha's up to almost at its peak from within the last 3 hours, which was 133. Now it's at 132. People be logging in. All right, I'm trying to go through chat as much as possible. Skimming. Nick, I heard the other day it was mentioned that during EA there might be one race change allowed. Is this just a rumor or plan for EA so people can change their race to a class to a race they want? Yeah, I think that's a rumor. I don't think we want you to be able to change your race no matter what. What do you think about instant faction-based PvP scenario similar to Daok Battlegrounds for the PvP servers? Uh, not a fan of doing anything instanced. Um, but hmm. We may do some like open world PvP zones or something, but it's not a big priority. There's still a ton of game to make, and we are a very PvE focused game, and we're not under any illusions that we're not. Music from Robert is the best I've heard. So amazing. Yeah. You throw money to play it at the project to play as is. Yeah, like, and I think we're aware that some of you are in this boat, right? If worst came to worst, like we could release the game, but we're just trying to do right by the community and make sure that early access is in the state that we want it to be in before we go into early access, right? Like we could have done the thing already, right? But we're really taking our time with it. Um, but that being said, right? Like development started about 5 years ago. Hardcore development started probably only like 3 to 4 years ago. So like we're taking our time, but I think we're also punching above our weight in terms of ability to produce. So you can look at it either way, right? Like some people are like, take more time. And we are. We're taking the time that we feel that we need, but eventually you just have to jump in the deep end, right? EQ Classic Rogue stealing all the gems drove me nuts and pugs. Well, yeah, you got to kick them out of the group, dude. That's the Rogue. You don't just want to let them chisel you for all those gems. You gotta. As soon as you see a stop thief, you gotta stop that rogue by kicking him right out. Give him a swift kick. But that's also the fun of rogue, right? Being a rogue in a group. Did you go look at that green castle? Looks kind of neat. Dude, you guys have no idea what's in store. It's gonna be great. Nice cataphract. Are capsule mobs still available in engine? I sort of miss them. I think they may be. Yeah. So there'll be dungeons that definitely try to tap into that vanilla WoW design for sure, in terms of like not just being a series of corridors, but being like very in world, um, like certain areas that are kind of have like that epic grand feeling inside. We have a dungeon that has been produced that nobody's seen yet that is probably taps into that the most. Without spoiling anything, like initially it kind of is like oh, okay, like this looks like a pretty standard dungeon, and then you hit a point, and then it's like, oh, this be different. I still remember the original look at the game when you first started. Yeah, I remember you were at my house. And I was like, hey, look at my game, and running around as a literal capsule through like the first like shaded dunes and good times. What's up, Spooey? Are pulling mechanics similar to EQ? Is there feigned death splitting? Yeah, there's feigned death splitting. Might need a little bit of tweaking on some of the like mob, like the like variants on when they start returning home to make it a little bit more doable. But in general, it's feigned death splitting is the thing. What's up, Brugaroo? Any new classes that might be in the works at the moment? Just curious if you all are all open for more classes to be added. Yeah, we're super open for it. We've already talked about some that we want to add. There's actually a working list of potential classes we may add that Bjorn put together. It's like suggestions from the community and from the team and stuff. But in general, I want to get our like, what do you call it? Like different branches of the game working so that we can so that I can start like prototyping new classes on like a little, what do you call it? Rookaroo, thank you for the prime. Welcome to the stream, buddy. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, so I can start testing some like future content without getting it into the base game or having to worry about that. Hey, Rookaroo, thank you for the 5 gifties, man. Appreciate you so much. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, man. Oh, I think the music went away. Let us get the music going. Oh. Uh-oh. That's not the right music. Tavintha, thank you for the 5 community gift subs. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much, guys. Play Wonderball. Here, let's go back. This is actually my favorite. I think probably my favorite track in Monsters and Memories. I'll boost the volume a little bit on that. Let me know if the volume's okay. It's gonna be a little quiet at the beginning here. Yeah, Fallen Pass is my favorite track, I think. Closely followed by the Night Harbor Atmospheres track, the kind of like ambient music that plays after the zone music. I think both of those are just phenomenal. Like, music is so good, man. Oh boy. There's a clip here. What is this clip? I gotta look at it later. The music is so good. Yeah. Shadows of Aetherol is my favorite. Oh yeah, Shadows of Aetherol is great. Is the current class design somewhat finalized, or do you have any classes that still have a lot to be worked on? We still have classes that have a lot to be worked on, but I feel that the classes are in a place that they're functional enough to kind of exist and kind of have a unique take, right? Like, music volume okay, everybody? But yeah, like we're still working on finalizing the classes. We're still working on mechanics for classes, and there's definitely classes that are in a better state than others. What does a sub mean? So, a sub or a subscription allows you to watch the stream without having to worry about any ads. It supports a streamer monetarily. You split some degree of that money with Twitch. But, and then it also allows you to unlock certain perks for your channel and stuff, so yeah, it's really nice when you guys sub. It's really helpful. Thank you. You know, we're all volunteers at the moment, so you know, supporting my channel, supporting other team members who stream is really nice of you guys, so appreciate it. I'm newer to Twitch, so I'm glad this is funding Nick and the M&M team and project. Well, it's fun. Subbing to me is supporting me directly. Subbing to another member of our team is supporting them directly. In terms of supporting the game and the project, the best way to do that right now is just spreading the word. We're not taking any money in as a company currently. So yeah. Do I enjoy fine bourbon? Maybe on a occasion, right? Like very special occasions. I've really cut a lot of the alcohol out of my life. But I do enjoy like the occasional beverage, right? It's like very occasional. When Nick gets paid, Costco gets paid too. Yeah. What's up, Nick? You stream almost every day now? No, so I'm not gonna be streaming every day. There's a lot of game to work on, and I just can't justify streaming every day unless I'm like not paying attention to the chat, not talking to you guys, and that's not how the way I want to operate a stream. I mean, I will occasionally do some work on stream, but when I lock in and I'm working on stuff, like, yeah, no, I can't be streaming all the time. However, I'm still in the recovery from the stress test, so tomorrow I'm gonna go hard in on classes, no distractions, and well, I'm gonna have that call tomorrow though. That's the thing. So I'll have that, but then I'll try to do as much work as possible. But yeah, I can't be streaming all the time, guys. I do appreciate, you know, being able to stream and have an audience and stuff, and talk to you guys about the game. But if I'm always streaming, then the game just doesn't get done. I mean, a lot of the other aspects of the game get done, but I gotta make sure that my stuff gets done and that I'm staying on top of some other things, right? Shout out to the environment work. Love the sandstorm and lighting. Yeah. What about Battlegrounds for control of the zone, like Dayoc did, but instead of faction warfare, you could queue up for whichever faction you wanted to work for. Could be PvP or PvE. The way, since you can fight mobs or players for the loyalty for your selected side. Yeah, I think it's something more like that would be in line. There wouldn't be like queuing up for anything, but maybe being part of a faction. Like maybe it's deity related, right? Maybe there's like a Solenzek style, Dayoc styles area in the game that you kind of, based on your deity, you're part of one of 3 factions, and you can, there's faction, you know, objective control, like keep raids and castle raids or whatever. But this is very, very stretch goal stuff, right? This would be like much down the line, because we have a lot of, like, again, we are a PvE focused game, so we just have to focus on that, right? we can't just start biting off more than we could chew, especially if it's not something that's super core to the experience. Yeah, I like that rondo. The rondo. All right, do we do a little quick giveaway? Just a one bouncer. One quick alpha key. What level is that green castle? You gotta go there and find out. Dragon, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the 10 gifties, man. Appreciate that a lot. I hope you're doing well. So nice of you. Thank you so much. That's the giveaway confirmation. Now you have to. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And thank you all for the support. Dragon, you've always been a big supporter, so I appreciate you, man. Not Belay Man over here? Dragon, do you happen to be, guys, speaking of Monopoly, did you guys hear about this? They brought back the Monopoly game at McDonald's. Do you remember that? I was obsessed with that as a kid. And it broke my heart to find out that I had been scammed. Dax Trias, thank you for the Prime, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but apparently there's like a documentary about this or whatever, but the original Monopoly game was... Vintha! Thank you for the 20 gifties. Wow. It's like a gifty battle in here. Thank you so much, Tavintha. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Yeah, it's like a Monopoly man's boss over here. Fight. Monopoly men are just fighting in the streets. Holy, jeez. You guys are so nice. Seriously, thank you. But yeah, no, it broke my little heart because like as a kid, when I was a little kid, I was obsessed with the Monopoly game. I loved Monopoly, the board game. And then I loved McDonald's. I was a kid. And I was like, man, I have Park Place. I just got to get that boardwalk. I got conned. But it turned out that whatever like company was doing the McDonald's Monopoly game or whatever were like, apparently they were like rigging it. So like, people knew where to get the pieces or whatever. So like a certain amount of people like rigged it for themselves. There's like a documentary about it or something. Citation needed probably, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Yeah, pulling the tabs off fries and drinks. That was the original loot box, was the McDonald's Monopoly game. No boardwalk ever, that's right. Dude, the dopamine you got from tearing that little thing off. Dude, I might go to McDonald's after this very stream just to get some nostalgia. I was thinking about going to McDonald's before the stream just to do a little Monopoly like stream thing, you know, little pull off stream, I guess. You guys are gonna think I'm on the McDonald's sponsorship pivot. Sorry, Kirkland. There's a new sheriff in town. And then, like, by the time Monsters and Memories come out, I'll just be, like, massive. Yeah, guys, I've been eating McDonald's every single day. Large drink, large fry. Boardwalk, I can feel it. It's the next one. Supersize Me. Yeah, that guy passed away. It was very sad. They showed us Super Size Me in junior high science class. All right, I think it's time. I think it's time for a giveaway. Right after I answer a few more questions, I gotta get to the bottom of chat real quick. Hey Nick, really enjoyed the playtest weekend. Made me miss the old MMOs I played as a kid. I'm really looking forward to your game and the journey with it. Thanks again. Looking forward to November. Keep it up. Hey, thanks, Lune. Lunug. I am so bad with names. But thank you. Seriously. It turns out Super Size Me was a scam too? Oh, I could see something like that, right? Like a hit piece. Yeah, because the guy that did it, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna slander him, but I don't know. There was something weird going on there too, right? Nah, I'm a little bit on a fitness journey, diet journey, so I think going to buy some McDonald's might not be the play. But man, I just need to get that nostalgia hit real quick. Is it HOTS for Heart of the Swarm or what? No, Heroes of the Storm, but I did play Heart of the Swarm as well. I was an avid StarCraft 2 player at one point. And, yeah. Stress test date weekend gave me classic nostalgia. I had back in the day playing EQ. Can't wait till early access. Nice. Thanks for the MK. You tried to play StarCraft 2 last week. Felt like an old man learning to type. So I was on a recent StarCraft 1 kick. Tavintha
just shared 3,700 bits.
Thank you for the 3,700 biddies. Holy crap. Thank you, Tavintha. Seriously, that's so nice of you. Thank you so much for the support. Seriously, I really, really appreciate that. Yeah. Wow. So yeah, I was saying I was recently on a StarCraft 1 kick, and like, man, it's just so, like, I love it. I love it so much, but it's a love-hate relationship. Like, you're playing against, like, if you play ladder, you're playing against like 90% Koreans, so it's always laggy. People like either just straight up leave, or they like kind of talk trash to you. So that's kind of annoying. But yeah, it's just such a hard game. It's so hard. Like B level in StarCraft 1. Barely. Like, it's a very hard game. But yeah, in StarCraft 2, I was High Masters. I could have probably made the... I don't know if I could have made the push to Grandmasters or not. Like, I would have had to invest a lot more time and just a lot more into, like, honing my game. I did play Stormgate, which was supposed to be kind of the spiritual successor to StarCraft 2 by ex-Blizzard people. Frostgate Studios or whatever. I got... In the beta, I was, like, top... What does it say in my profile? Like, top 300, top 400 on the ladder or something? So that was fun. Was playing Vanguard on that. I played Protoss in StarCraft 1 and 2. But... yeah, unfortunately, that game fell off. Stormgate doesn't look like it's doing too well. Which is unfortunate, because I love RTS games, and Blizzard RTS style... Blizzard-style RTS games are really fun to me. Stormgate was bad. Yeah, I had high hopes, but unfortunately, it just... was looking forward to it? Yeah. During Wings of Liberty. I played a MLG and won a few new egg tournaments. Oh, you're probably way better than me then. That's awesome. Now you pull a muscle taking your shirt off? I'm sorry to hear that, Ruguru. I feel you, man. That's what they get for designing it for competitive play. Yeah, I get that to an extent. Used to play Planetary Annihilation, fun RTS where you battled on multiple planets. Is that related to Total Annihilation? Stormgate is mostly negative on Steam? Hey, Devinta. Thank you for the 60 bits. Appreciate you. That's so nice of you. Seriously, thank you for all the support. I never played EQ or any of the older MMOs before the WoW days. My group of friends, 9 of us, have gotten into M&M and are excited for the next playtest. I do have a funny story that happened when I was watching your last stream. You tell, the Iron Chef. Look up beta called Beyond All Reason. Yeah, I've heard of Beyond All Reason. I think I've seen some footage of it. Can't wait for more tests. My first classic MMO. I'm hooked. You guys are killing it. Thanks, Baraxis. StarCraft 1, man, was such a great game. Shield battery.
_battery just cheered 100 bits.
Hey, thanks, Shield Battery, for the 100 biddies, buddy. Good to see you in here, man. Yeah, Shield Battery's one of my friends from the StarCraft scene, so it's funny that he's in here when I'm talking about the StarCraft stuff. Yeah, like... What was I saying now? Thanks again for the hype train, guys. Or treasure train, I guess they're called now. That's so nice of you guys. Playing Age of Mythology right now. Nice. You should try Beyond All Reason. Yeah, I should give it a try. So, and no, I was saying StarCraft 1. Ruguru said StarCraft 1, man, was such a great game. Dude, StarCraft Remastered is a great game. Like, again, it is extremely difficult for, in my opinion, people, kind of Westerners, kind of, to get into somewhat. Because, like, all the knowledge is in, like, the Korean scene. They've been doing a lot of translations and stuff to help you kind of learn the game. But, like, you're at a massive disadvantage by not having... ease of access to all that information that the Korean scene has. But hey, Anasterian, thank you for the Prime. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate that. Huck is playing Beyond All Reason, like right now. Nice. Yeah, I remember Huck. How's the stress test weekend go? Good feedback? Yeah, we got really good feedback. We got Silas Forever, thank you for the Prime. So we got really good data on like the breakpoint for like kind of what our player limit in a zone is. So we had a new... Well, that'll happen if you don't have invulnerability on. That'll happen, guys. Fall damage is back on, by the way. Yeah, so we got good information about, like, server profiles and stuff, and, like, what we can do to improve the lag, on, like, really, really high player counts. But, other than that, like, below that threshold of people, it's the smoothest it's ever ran, and, there was no server crashes at all, so we don't have, like, I don't think we have any, like, server memory leaks that are too oppressive, at least over, you know, a 35-hour playtest. And, yeah, the load times have been, like, so check this out, like, Oh, the zone's still up. Yeah. So that's really fast load times. So that's feeling really good. All right, we gotta get to that giveaway soon. We're just doing, you know, we'll do two. We'll do two. But like, I gotta seriously cut down on these giveaways, guys. Like, I can't be just like everyone's gonna be in. Like, there's only a certain amount of you out there, you know. Like, everyone's gonna be in the test, and then Warcraft 3 Remastered is a great game. Dude, yeah, Warcraft 3, like, I want to, like, if I was a young man, I would want to learn Warcraft 3. I used to play, like, 2v2 Warcraft 3 back in the day with my friend, and I used to play 1v1s and stuff, and I used to like 3v3, 4v4 as well, and obviously custom games. But I wish I really learned Warcraft 3 1v1s like I did StarCraft 1v1s. Hey, Moose with Big Rack. Thank you for the one community gift sub. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Glad you're enjoying the stream. How do you give bits? I actually don't know. Oh, somebody got you. What race do you play in Warcraft 3? So I actually was kind of a multi-racer in Warcraft 3, which is probably part of the problem. I would say, though, so in Reign of Chaos, I definitely played Orc. I would say Orc and Undead were my two races. I really like the kind of... In Reign of Chaos, I did like the caster strategy. Obviously, that was flavor of the month. And then, obviously, when ghouls could forest walk, so if you like right-click on trees, it's similar to like workers mineral walking in StarCraft, but the difference is ghouls were literally combat units. So imagine if your Zerglings could like mineral walk, it would just be ridiculous, right? So abusing that was fun. StarCraft 2, Warcraft 3, blah blah. Who played Lords of EverQuest? I played Lords of EverQuest. I did. And so did Zukin on his, yeah, I know Zukin did a playthrough of that game. Thanks for everything you guys are doing, Nickhots. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Interworld, for just playing the game and streaming the game. Really appreciate you, man. But yeah, you know, you're welcome, and hopefully we can continue doing all the good things. Who played Ultima Online? That was my jam. I actually recently played Ultima Online for the first time with Ollie, because Ollie was obsessed with Ultima Online. EverQuest was my first MMO. Ailments is a bit of a Hello Kitty Island adventure enjoyer themselves. Love Champions of Norath. So I had a friend. I had some friends that like would come over and like I'd show them EverQuest and they'd be like, and they didn't even have like a computer. Or, well, they had a computer, but it wasn't like good enough. And they were like, "Oh man, that's a cool game." And then he's like, "Look, dude, I bought Champions of Norath." I'm like, "Oh, cool, dude." Like, you know, I kind of was like, I was a little bit of a snob, I guess. I don't know. Like, I was like, cool, dude. Like, I'm playing EverQuest. And he's, like, I don't even know about Champions of Norath, but I heard it's a kind of a cult classic, to an extent, right? Like, I've never played it myself. I did see somebody streaming it recently. Seemed kind of cool. Definitely probably would have been a lot cooler for the time, but yeah, it seemed like a good game. Who Vaclav is in Eminem? Who put Vaclav in Eminem? I forgot who actually put Vaclav in, but I remember like modifying him for some reason. What classes will be getting Force Lightning and Fireballs? Fireball is probably like Wizard Elementalist or something, right? Force Lightning. Might have to be Inquisitor. They are the Sith equivalent. Why do wizards get light source summons and not elementalists who are summon class? Oh yeah, let me make a note about that. Elementalists should get something. Renting Neverwinter Nights on AOL for a weekend was my first experience of an MMO ever. Yeah, so I remember I used to have a subscription to Computer Gaming World. I was really big on, like... I remember we'd go on vacation to Wisconsin. We wouldn't have any computer. Well, this one year, there was a PC gaming cafe that opened, and I was like... This is the first time I ever was on a LAN. So that was amazing. I was like... Please just leave me here. I want to play, like, Team Fortress Classic and all these games. Like, just please leave me here. I don't care. I don't want to do anything with my family, like, on vacation as a kid. I want to just be on the computer. Because I was such a little computer addict. I didn't care about anything else. So that was cool. But in general... I would go on vacation and then I'd go to the bookstore and I would just sit there and read the computer gaming magazines and stuff. So I remember like reading Computer Gaming World and there would be like learning about Quake 1 and stuff. Like Quake 1's not out yet, but like there's a magazine on it. Like, so I remember reading about Neverwinter Nights in one of those magazines and being like, dude, this sounds amazing. And then never really following up on it, but... yeah, I wish I had. That would have been cool. Deok, EQ, and Asheron's Call were all great for different reasons. Yeah. I played EverQuest and Dark Age. I never played Asheron's Call. Now I got a main Inquisitor. Yup. I found an online game design document. I can't tell if it's a placeholder item or not. Someone order a cold brew? Yeah, I gotta get this giveaway underway. I'm having fun though. Like I don't want to turn off the stream because I feel like I have to run the giveaway and then. All right, how about this? Since I promised I'll do 2, let's just start with 1 right now. Let's just start with 1 right now, and then we'll do a second one, and then that's it, guys. I gotta, like... Just, like... So, Broken, I'm on the Kirkland sobriety right now. I'm trying to quit cold turkey. Last night was the worst of it, I think. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm cut out for those Kirklands, man. They just hit way too hard. Like... I can't even concentrate. I'm just, like, so jittery and crazy. But, like, I get naturally hyped when you guys are in here and chatting with me and we're having fun. Do your thing, Nick. You got this? Any plans to be able to stow weapons like in WoW? Feels strange having them out all the time. It's cool to see the sword and shield staff, etc. on our backs. We've been back and forth on this. I think the plan is no, because we like having your weapons out. I think what we will do is kind of those different idols. Like, you know in EQ, when you, like, are running around and then you stop and you, like, are holding your stuff like this, kind of out? And then after a while, you're like, and then you put your arms to your side. I think we might do that. Because, I think, like, hold on. Let me try to show an example here. Oh, here, actually, I can go to the, let me show you an NPC that I'm talking about. Like, so, the thing that isn't too fun about this guy and his staff that he's holding is that it always is in this position. You can't see it. Like, he's not holding it up. So having that kind of like 2 different idols, I think might be the play. And it's something that I've loosely, we've talked about and we kind of agree with in principle. It's just a matter of like, when are we going to do that? And just making sure that that is indeed the play. In terms of like, yeah, holstering your weapons and stuff on your back, I don't know if we've designed our characters with that in mind, so I don't know if that's... Yeah, we've been talking about that one for a while, Zukin. I think sheathing weapons is more realistic. Hope you guys reconsider. Yeah, no, I hear you. And maybe that is eventually what we do, but... When can my gnome cleric ride on my ogre's shoulders? We gotta figure out about that, right? Like, ogre plus gnome. Is it happening? I mean, there is that screenshot. I don't know if anyone's got it on hand. It's a glorious, glorious screenshot. When can you gnome monk? You're gonna have to ask Goblin about that one. He's got a plan for that. You may have to ascend a huge mountain and do like a whole pilgrimage. But yeah, if you want gnome monk, you're gonna either have to find the gnome illusion mask, or you're gonna have to find the quest to be a gnome monk. Stuck as Necro because of this. Sheathing weapons make sense if you have a ranged weapon too. My cleric gnome would fit perfectly on his shoulder. Idea, advanced survivalist, temporary shelter. Erect a temporary shelter, provides protection against the elements for X minutes. Requires X logs, stone, blah, blah, blah. Reduce production time per group member and party. Yeah, I like that a lot, and that was brought up yesterday on the stream with like Quados and stuff. It's like, can druids make some shelter? Can elementalists make some shelter? And, like, they were talking about this, and I was, like, literally dying. I was like, guys, I don't feel so good. I'm on the struggle bus. Nick Dev question. How do I add a hat to an NPC even if the item is not in inventory? For instance, the turbans on SGs and VOZ. So, Nicodemus, you'll want to go to the NPC table. You'll want to go to far right of the... table, and then go to attachments. You can look at the... So you can separate attachments by comma, and then you would just put the item hid there, I believe. So look at the example for the sand giants. Pretty sure those are the attachments referenced there are item hids. Are the mud uses only for niche instances like quests, etc., or are they generally used? Some of it's flavor, some of it's for quests, some of it's for like secrets or whatever, like solving a puzzle or something, right? Like there could be many different uses. Can I break a cleric and play as DPS? Oh, can I oath break a cleric and play as DPS? Explain what you mean by that, Silas. I think as a cleric, like, you can definitely, if you have plenty of healing in a group, you could definitely do some good damage, especially against undead. I think undead nukes have, like, high damage and high efficiency, so, like, you're feeling real good. And then... depending on if we add some, like, mana regen stuff to them, I think they're going to be feeling really good in that department. How do you feel about occasional alternate animations, i.e. jump flips, 1 to 25 jumps or whatever? Have you seen the dwarf jump animation? But yes, we are very, very positive on that kind of stuff. Since you're talking about archery, you think you could, about adding equipping one arrow and feeding the slot from the quiver. Equip swapping during battle gets wild sometimes. Yeah, let's get that on the class finalization doc is making them feed from the quiver. Very good call out. Thank you. There be any type of transmog or glamour system? No, we don't do transmog. You just wear what you wear. That's part of the progression in our game. Visual progression is very important, and like wearing something that isn't what you're wearing is like immersion breaking for this kind of audience. Ogres have camming and side issues in dungeons. Due to their size, need a solution or I'll never roll one again. Have you tried shrink? Getting shrunk? Getting shrunk, getting an illusion, stuff like that. I was thinking that the EQ character models and their forearms extended most of the time because they didn't have a battle stance. Oh, interesting. So it was kind of like a pseudo combat idol. So we're talking about just a straight idol that transitions from kind of at the ready to relaxed idol. So two different idols that they transition between. But yeah, we do have the combat idol too, so that's nice. But I think it makes sense in a game that doesn't have what's it called? The thingy you put on your back, holstering your weapon or whatever, sheathing it. I don't know. I think it's nice to have those two states because then you can really see the weapons as you run around. Because like this example here, like this bothers me greatly. Like this weapon doesn't feel as cool because you can't see. Because you can't see this guy. Like, this should be standing up, right? Like, that would feel so fun. So. Yeah. Staff of Writhing. Hey, don't forget Staff of Discord. When I do transform into, like, human to ogre, illusion face turns white. Has it been reported? Yeah, this has been a long, outstanding issue. Zukin, who do we have to hit up to get that fixed? Because that one's just... That's like... That's an eternal issue. Like, we just need to get it done. The whole, like, illusion bug where your face turns white or whatever. Is that something that we need to just, like, have the customization presets, like, arranged ahead of time or something like that? But yeah, that'd be a good one to fix. Do we have to hit up, like, Ollie on that one or something? That'd be a really good one to fix. Try to fix it by having faces slotted in, but I don't think that's the issue. Okay. Probably a tech issue we need Ollie for. You know, I'm gonna bring that up on our call. See if we can get that one addressed, because we already got the illusion. So let's see, hold on. Let's do... So I think we fixed illusions with zoning or something. Man, that feels fun. Oh, we don't have a sound for that. A sound for that. Oh. The time got out of whack in there. But yeah, the illusion works fine. Zoning. Can we get an arcade box in Night Harbor powered by the local time wizards imbued stones that runs Megabonk? VLith, that's a great idea. Thank you. All right. I think it's time to run one, guys. We got to run at least one. Let me get it. Let me get it set up. Nothing yet, guys. Nothing yet. Hold on. All right, guys. So I'm adding a new rule to the contest. I've actually been secretly adding this rule already. There was a little bit of drama that happened because some people were winning keys more than once. So I've started, after a certain point, adding people to the exclusion list. So if you want a key, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get a little bit more creative. Or just be good and don't do a giveaway thing. But yeah, so if once you won with a Twitch name, that doesn't mean that past winners won't win, because I haven't added everybody to this. I've just started after a certain point. So if somebody that's already won wins again, I apologize. We'll do something, but yeah. So all right, guys. There it is. Exclamation point giveaway. Doing one key. Just one key for right now. All right, let's see how many are on. Oh my god. There's 142 people online on the alpha. Guys, I don't know. I don't know if I could do more than one. Like, this is getting into danger territory. People are going to be like, Nick, why are you giving away so many keys? There's too many people in the alpha. Like, what are you doing, guy? Just say you got a level 8 hype train? Yeah, it's fair. Okay, we'll do another one. We'll do another one. But no, I can't say that. I can't admit to that, because then that would be some kind of, like, you know? I'm just doing this out of the good of my heart. I'm just happy that there's so many people that show up to the stream. Like, even before I said anything about a giveaway, there's a lot of you here, so. No, but seriously, guys, like, we may have to go a little bit easier on the giveaways for a bit. Like, more GeoGuessr competitions? Yeah, we gotta get another GeoGuessr one going on Zukin's stream for at least one key. I want to see if was it Gnomepolian, or who was it that messed up their click? Was one click away from glory. Love your streams. You do a great job, Nick. Hey, thanks, Algnosis. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, so I used to stream back in the day, and, like, I thought I was a pretty decent streamer, right? Like, but now I've been, like, in hibernation for, like, 10 years, and just watching other people stream and be good at streaming and, like, absorbing it all. So now that I've gotten the opportunity to stream, I've been, like, kind of marrying, like, my old kind of streaming style with like just modern understanding of streaming, right? So it's been pretty cool. Can't wait to get in there and try this game out. Keep doing the Lord Interrupts work. Hey, thanks, Jabroni. Can't wait to get you in here too, man. We're just hanging out. I just find it interesting listening to you answer questions. Hey, Karan, thank you. Thought I was a good streamer until I watched a good streamer. Yeah. I've already been working up your honeydew credit rating to be ready for November playtest. Yeah, everyone start raising your spousal faction now. Start doing like good deeds for your wife or husband and boyfriends or girlfriend, whoever, right? Like, yeah, just start doing all the things. You know, get that faction up. So that when you get a massive negative faction hit, that you don't fall down to like disdain or KOS levels of faction. You know, maybe you hit like apprehensive instead, right? And then you can just you can always work that up, right? Like, you know, you don't want to fall below that. Stay off the couch, peeps. Yeah. Are you supposed to be able to use new types of wood on campfires to restock them? Right now you can start a fire with any wood, but only restock it with normal wood. Oh, that's a good call, Pipes. Let me add that to my short list of things to fix. I'll fix that. I'm lucky because my girlfriend lets me do whatever I want, never gives me a tough time. Sometimes she plays stuff like this. She plays stuff like this with me. Knight Rider 2000. You are the envy of us all. Congratulations. You've done well in life. I salute you. Should add environmental damage to non-player made campfires? Yeah, maybe. So the plan is to maybe make the non-player campfires also function the same as the player campfires. But if you kill the mobs that are tending to that campfire, then you'll have to tend to it yourself, right? Come on, Daddy, need an alpha key? I'm super duper Eminem fan. Dude, I'm wishing you luck, Sir Nasty. Think you should be able to cook on them for sure? Yeah. This was once lost in the giveaway setup, but I noticed you can scribe the Ashir illusion to new spellbooks and give them away like candy. Is there any plans to faction lock spells or items to cast use? Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I'm gonna note that one down because that is actually a concern too. And like, how do we handle like no drop spells, droppable spell books, stuff like that? It's all a good question. All right, how long has it been? Oh my god, the alpha is getting close to 150 people, guys. Like, this is we're hitting a level that we got to be careful with, you know? All right. All right, let's run it. Let's run it. Get your final entries in. Rarzerk. Rarzerk. Congratulations, buddy. Come on down, buddy. Send me your M&M account email and your Discord. Whisper me on Twitch. All right. Yeah, I'm glad you're excited, bud. Off to bed. Have a good night, guys. See you later, Knuckles. Have a good one. Just out of curiosity, I'm not turning off the stream yet. I'm probably going to do another 1x giveaway, but is anyone on the team planning to stream tonight? Goblin, Zukin, anybody around? Doing a little stream life tonight? Don't get to catch stream ever? Thanks for working on the game. Used to watch you play HOTS ages ago. Hey! Slyvana. Thank you so much for that. I'm glad you remember me, and glad that you're watching, you know, keeping on tabs on Monsters and Memories and stuff, so thank you. Time for a Quatos raid? Nick, when are we playing HOTS? Dude, I'll play some HOTS. I'll play some HOTS sometime. I'm very, very rusty, but I think I did play some games recently. Maybe something I add into my rotation, because I haven't been playing much of StarCraft these days. So something I may add into my little rotation. I think that's been one of the most important things for me, is finding time to kind of take a break from my work and just game. I've been doing a bit of gaming, so it's nice. But yeah, it was hard for a really long time for me to maintain like a healthy life-work balance, because I just go hard. Like on these types of projects and like these types of opportunities, I really go hard. You'll beat me in HOTS 1v1 for an alpha key? I bet you'll beat me 1v1. Alright, let's get Rarzerk in here. Congratulations. Nice. Oh man, tomorrow's gonna be a busy work day. Got a call tomorrow. Got a lot of class work to do. I wonder if Sean will stream. I don't know that he will, but it'd be cool. Yeah, I should try to get to bed at least a reasonable time. Will the raids be more like vanilla WoW or classic EQ? I would say like a mix of the two. Like, I think I want there to be like really simple encounters, like your typical dragon raids from EQ. But I also like Bone Construct isn't like, you know, there's some like light scripting that's going on, or like pseudo scripting in a way. I would say tend to be more classic EQ, but there is going to be some like kind of vanilla WoW stuff. Like Skyseer kind of has some mechanics like that, and Yeah, I think it's going to be a mixed bag. I think it's going to be a nice, happy medium between the two, with some encounters leaning more classic EQ and some encounters leaning more classic WoW. Classic EQ raids were a mess. Yeah, that's why we liked them. They were... So there was a lot of... Are we getting raid groups? Maybe. You know, we're trying to say that we're not, you know, we're not really focused on making a raid game. So prioritizing those types of features might not be it. But at some point you may see a raid frame. Favorite EQ raid? I think Plane of Fear. I think Plane of Fear is always fun. Probably not so much... I think in concept I like Plane of Fear, but in practice I kind of more like... I don't know, I like TOV for sure. I don't know, it's a hard one. I want to go with Classic Fear, yeah. Oh, I really liked Plane of Hate back in the day, like the OG Plane of Hate. Like, Plane of Hate back in the day before we knew anything, and then you'd, like, zone in, and there would be, like, a train of mobs on you, and then you would, like, be trying to stabilize that. That was a lot of fun. Nick, I often wonder how much of M&M Mechanics implementation is based on emulator servers rather than the original game. For example, healing pulls barely any threat on P99. It was much worse in Classic. Mob Charm was also very sporadic, not easy like 99. Mobs also casted World Till You Hurl and Mez Charm. I hope M&M has these things. Yeah, so... Definitely, I like the more classic feel, and, you know... I think it's gonna probably be a mixed bag, right? Like, it's very hard to hone in on what that whole experience was back in the day. Like, it's just a lot of it's lost to history. But whenever we can make things feel like really classic feeling and just like good, like reminiscent of those classic days, I think that's gonna be good. Gotcha, Iker. Makes sense. When Quorum came out, we killed Nagafin with 3 level 44s and 1 49 pet. Everyone else was level 30 and didn't do much of anything. Yeah. We don't want it to be that easy, for sure. Rangers get Wolf and Jackal form too? Will you give Wolf form and Jackal form some diversity? Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That's part of the plan. How many players will the raids be tuned to? Maybe smaller groups would be better. It'll be a variety. So there's going to definitely be a lot of 1 to 2 group man content. But I think there's inevitably going to be some content that's like bigger, right? But the majority of content is probably going to be smaller. Will Rangers get any sneak or camouflage? Yes. Probably not full-on stealth, but they definitely get like a camouflage and a sneak. I believe. They definitely get invis. Like, they have a instant cast cooldown based invis too, which is kind of nice. It's kind of something that I just was like, hey, why not? What's your zone design philosophy compared to original EQ? Will there be a wide variety of monster levels per zone, and things are going to be scaled, or are things going to be scaled differently? Yeah, we want there to be different level ranges through a zone, so there's a sense of progression and stuff, and different camps at different levels. But it will also vary. zone to zone, right? We don't want all zones to be created equal. So there will probably be some zones that have a more narrow level band, and then there will be some zones that have a much wider and, crazier level band. I really like how EQ isn't over-refined, but I do think some refinement in hard encounters is necessary to make it challenging and special. Just being an instant, without it just being an instant item farm. Yeah. Which SKs would get an invis? Let me just verify about that. They'll probably get something. Anyone watching Monday Night Football? Who's playing? Jaguars Chiefs? Nice. Chiefs and Jags, no thanks. Final drive for Jags, good game. Any plans for Fighter to get more skills past level 12, or is that an intentional design decision? It's just everything is kind of crunched at lower levels. It may be kind of like spread out a little bit more, and then there may be like ranks for certain damaging abilities, so that there's just more kind of fluff or like just like there's more like kind of like progression feeling of abilities and like maybe more cost associated with it, but in general, like melee classes are probably like physical classes like that are probably going to have a lot less abilities overall, just because that's just how those classes play. They don't have spells. Fighter strength Battlecry should be a group buff. Yeah, I was actually planning on that. Battlecry group. That's definitely happening. I was talking about that last night. Would love numbers for buff durations. Got them, but they're just hidden. You just hold right click on a buff and it'll show you. But as we expand the UI more and more, we'll see about getting those a little bit more clear. All right, guys. I said I'd do two, so let's run it real quick. Hold up. Let's do one more quick giveaway. You can fire it off now. And then I don't know if anybody's streaming. Anyone streaming tonight from the team? I missed if you guys said you were or not. Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble, guys. Like, I can't be doing too much of this, you know? 140 people on alpha. Or characters, at least. Oh, nice. Which baseball game you watching? Zach? Give all chat key, test your faction. Oh, nice. Are you a Brewers fan? Should you stream? Oh yeah, I kind of I thought I remembered that, right? That you're from Wisconsin. Yeah, so you're rooting against my happiness. We're obviously Cubs fans over here, so best of luck. May the best team win. Looks like your team is in prime position to potentially be taking the series, though, right? It's looking pretty good, huh? Is there a way to copy one of your previous character's UI layouts, or any plans to add that feature? Yeah, you could do it manually. I've done it a bunch of times. Basically just find, so I'll tell you right now, you go to this PC, C drive, or whatever drive, users, your name, app data, local low, niche worlds cult, monsters and memories. Then you choose the server and the character of the character you want to copy from. Then you copy all the good stuff, minus maybe the journal items or files, and then you copy that all into the folder of the character that you want it to transfer to, and then make sure your game is closed before you do all of this, of course, and then yeah, that'll work. But in-game feature would be nice and is on the list. Yeah, so if you you got to make sure that when you're in like your Windows Explorer, you click on the little triple dots, click Options, click View tab, and then you want to show hidden files, folders, and drives. If you don't have that enabled already, because otherwise you won't be able to see app data, I believe. Yeah, app data is a hidden folder. Yep. I don't think anyone else is streaming. Zukin, you're not streaming, right? No worries, Goblin. I'll find somebody to raid. Alright, guys, let's run it. Let's run it. Get your final... Get your final entries in. 5, 2, 1. Crixin 001. Crixin 001. Congrats. Send me a whisper with your M&M account email and Discord. Fun stuff, guys. Fun stuff. Um, Let's see. Let's get Crickson added. Done and done. Welcome, welcome, guys. Congrats on the keys. Oh, awesome, Dragon Blazonry. I'll try to reply to you as soon as I can about that. When I turn off the stream, I might have to step away for a little bit, but when I get back, I'll send you something on that. Appreciate that a lot. Who are we raiding? Hey, Broken. Appreciate everything that you've done, man. And appreciate you coming out to the stream as well. So thank you for being here. Yeah, and thank you all for the generous subs, bits, donations, follows, all that stuff. Just supporting the game, just being here, asking me questions, keeping me company. You know, it's a lot of fun streaming. I enjoy streaming immensely. It's just so fun, and making this game is fun. And tomorrow it's back to the grind for me. Today was definitely a recovery day for me. But tomorrow we're gonna hit it hard. We're gonna hit it fast. We're gonna hit it good. Hysteria, I don't know if I should actually say that. I might get in trouble or something. But tell me, I don't know. Hit me up. I'd be curious to know who you were. I played on a friend's character mainly. I had like a low level character on there, and I was playing my friend's main, who's a max level character in there. But yeah, thanks guys. Appreciate it a lot. Let us find somebody to raid. Let us find somebody to raid. GG. Let us do that. Yeah, I think we're gonna head over to Quados, guys. Let's head over to Quados. What is he doing tonight? Observation. Let's do it. Alright, stick around for the raid. We were talking to Quados last night on his stream, so feels appropriate to send you guys over there. Alright guys, have a good night. Thanks again for tuning into the stream. Thanks for supporting the game. Thank you supporting my stream, and thank you supporting the team. Appreciate it all. Have a good night.